The rumbling sound resounded from the sky, extremely dull. Then. It's dark. What's going on? Why is it dark? My God. Look at the sky. What's that? A meteorite. How could there be such a big meteorite? At this moment, whether it is Sand Shinobi or Konoha Shinobi, they all looked up at the sky with shocking expressions. They are dumbfounded. How big is a meteorite that can block the sun? They dare not imagine. The meteorite landed. Gradually. The giant meteorite in the sky disintegrated and turned into surging seawater. No. This is not a meteorite. Look, the meteorite disintegrated. Great, the meteorite turned into rubble. Is this really a stone? As the meteorite disintegrated and the sunlight came out, many ninjas cheered. Others think it's not a meteorite at all. Is this supposed to be feces? Hitaki Sakumo was skeptical, thinking that his guess might be true. Also having this idea as third case cage. This is definitely not a meteorite, it's feces. It must be feces. Third case cage is sure that the seawater feces in the sky must be made by Chiba. As long as I kill him now, I should be able to remove this spell. Even if I can't remove it, I can use sand and iron to resist it. Thinking of this, third case cage no longer hesitated, and directly formed a mark. Magnet-style sand-iron shigur, instantly. Sand and iron-like waves appeared behind him, forming countless fine needles of sand and iron. Master Case Cage is on the move. Master Fengying is here, we don't have to be afraid. Case Cage Sama will protect us with sand iron. Master Case Cage, I love you. Sand Shinobi was excited. With the invincible Case Cage Sama around, what do they have to be afraid of? Die. Chiba. Fengying shouted angrily, as if he wanted to vent the anger in his heart. At the same time, Chiba across the canyon smiled. With such a distance, where does your confidence come from? After speaking, he raised his hand and gave Fengying a middle finger. Ability activation, reincarnation of grains. Target. Third Case Cage, next moment. Puff. Case Cage, who was manipulating sand iron, only felt the chrysanthemum loosen. Ali in his body was like a flood that opened the gate, rushing out, poof, unable to stop at all. Whoa. Day. After uttering these two words, third Case Cage knelt directly on the ground. Lost control, sand iron fine needle also lost power, fell into the canyon halfway. Now. All the ninjas in the Sand Shinobi camp were stunned. Am I dazzled? Why is Case Cage Sama running away? Look, everyone, Master Fengying's trouser pockets are wet. What a fart, hurry up and help Master Fengying. Master Case Cage, I'll help you. A group of Sand Shinobi were in a hurry, and finally helped Case Cage up. However, the smell of Ali is really a bit pungent to the eyes, and it makes people around them feel sick and vomit. Compared to other Sand Shinobi, Chio frowned at this time and looked up at the sky. As this? Feces? Finally, she saw clearly. What fell was not meteorites, nor rainwater, but a huge amount of feces. Everyone get out of the way, the shit is coming down. Shouting to the surroundings, Chio directly cast the puppet's secret technique. There is no way, she is too far away from the command post now, there is no way to go there in a short time, so she can only cast a puppet to cover her head. Reminded by Chio, the Sand Shinobi looked up one after another, and even third Case Cage looked towards the sky. Seeing this, all the Sand Shinobi, including Case Cage, turned green. This coverage is too big, there is no way to hide. Even the canyon is covered in shit, it's over. Get ready to hold your breath. Fortunately, I can swim. Next moment. The sea of dung fell. With a strong impact, the dung sea slammed into the entire Sand Shinobi position. Third Case Cage was already collapsed, but as a result, the sea of dung rushed down and directly rushed him into the canyon. Chio's puppet blocked it for less than half a second before being washed away. Afterwards, her face was covered in dung, and she passed out directly. Ryuri. If you want to be strong, you have to be buried at sea. He braved countless feces, hugged Chiandai alive, and ran wildly. At this moment, the sea burials were all given by Ali, and they escaped stepping on a sea of dung more than 1 meter deep. In particular, feces were constantly pouring down his head. What about the paste on the face? How about pouring it into your mouth? Facing the predicament, he ran out of the dung sea with Chio in his arms. In the entire Sand Shinobi position, only sea burial escaped, as for the other Sand Shinobi. Who gives me a hand? I can't swim. Vomit. I can't see anymore, someone wipe my eyes for me. You. Help. I'm going to be washed into the canyon. Don't pull me, get out of here, fell, grass. The other side of the canyon. Chiba's mood finally eased. Turn around and step forward, he returned to the position. However, he found that all the ninjas in the Konoha camp were silent. He walked towards the few big men who had slandered him before. As a result, these people ran wildly and raised the Kongwang several meters high. He went to Hitaki Tsukumo again. Boom. The smoke rose, and Hitaki disappeared. I'm just hungry. What are you running for? Chiba just finished speaking. Fung next moment. The surrounding ninjas jumped out one after another. Earth style, earth stove technique. Fire style, fire technique. Water style, boil pot water technique. Hitaki Tsukumo hides. Originally, Sand Shinobi's defeat was a great thing, but he didn't know how to praise Chiba. You can't say, what a shit, your shit is so powerful. As soon as he thought of these few words, he felt unable to open his mouth. Crouching in the corner of the camp, Hitaki Tsukumo thought about what to do for a while. Send a battle report to the village. Third cage was washed away by Ali, Sand Shinobi troops flooded with shit. He really didn't want to write this kind of battle report, it was really disgusting. But if you don't write it, you are ignoring the facts. Boom. 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 At this moment, several big men came around from the edge of the position, obviously thinking that this was a good place to hide. As a result, as soon as the big men arrived at the corner, they saw Hitaki Tsukumo. Eh? Master Tsukumo? How did you come here? Sweeping through several subordinates, Hitaki was embarrassed. It's so clean for him to hide here, who knows that these guards also come to join in the fun. Before, he clearly saw these people running to the other side. We offended Master Chiba, come here to hide. Master Chiba? Hitaki Tsukumo was taken aback. When I stopped people before, I called them little bastards, but now they are called Chiba days. What is he doing now? Ah. It seems to be eating. Have a meal? Hearing the word, eat, Hitaki felt a little nauseous. Can I still eat in this situation? The Sand Shinobi camp is full of dung, and Chiba is eating? Violently, Hitaki Tsukumo patted his forehead. He almost forgot a big thing. Now, I give you a task. His expression turned solemn, and Hitaki Tsukumo spoke solemnly. Put your weapons on now, rush to the Sand Shinobi position, and slash at Sand Shinobi. Don't be afraid, I will cover you from behind. Yes. Several people were excited. Head harvesting? Is there a better mission than this? Soon. The 8 guards rushed out of the position holding machetes. They seemed to have forgotten that Hitaki Tsukumo didn't even step out of the position, but stood on the observation tower. Come on. I'm going to cut 100 of them in a while. My broadsword is already hungry and thirsty. Please call me Konoha Chopping King. 8 big men rushed towards the canyon, full of fighting spirit. It can be very fast. As they approached the canyon, the run turned into a trot, and the trot turned into a walk. Finally, simply stopped. This smell is too strong, I can't run past it at all. The canyon is full of feces, the smell is so spicy, vomit. Isn't Master Tsukumo trying to protect us? What about others? No, I can't help it, vomit. The 8 people were so vomited by the smell wafting from the canyon that they even threw away the big knife in their hands. In the end, they just couldn't take it anymore. Whoosh. 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 Throwing kunai and the detonating talisman blind chicken into the canyon, they turned around and ran away. Observation tower. Hitaki Tsukumo saw this scene, showing an expression of, as expected. He knew that the smell of the canyon must not be small, so he sent a few men to try it. This try, shit really tastes great. Such a big taste, how to harvest Sand Shinobi? Hitaki Tsukumo was thinking. He understands that feces can't wipe out all Sand Shinobi, and a large part of Sand Shinobi will definitely escape. To understand is to understand. However, due to the obstruction of Oli's smell, Sand Shinobi was covered in feces again. If you fight in this situation, if you are not careful, you will have to splash yourself all over. In the canyon, 10 miles away from the positions of both sides, a group of Sand Shinobi who smelled all over their bodies were fleeing in embarrassment. If you look closely, it is not difficult to find that there is Third Cage among them. At this moment, Third Cage's whole body was covered with Oli, and the pockets of his trousers were drooping down. His footsteps were flimsy, and he was crossed by 2 subordinates, and he staggered forward. I really didn't expect, that Chiba can make people have diarrhea. Third Cage had guessed a lot of the opponent's abilities, but he hadn't guessed that there was diarrhea. More importantly, after this move, his whole body collapsed. Puff. Puff. With both feet in the dung water more than half a meter deep, Third Cage remained silent. He lost. Not only was he defeated, but he also had diarrhea in front of thousands of subordinates. This is a stain in his film history, and he will not get rid of it until he is paid. Sudden. A subordinate ran over. Master Fengying, the end of the canyon is ahead, we have to climb up. Weakly replied. Third cage remained expressionless. Now, he has been numb to the smell of ollie. Although his face was covered with ollie, Fengying didn't bother to wipe it off. Soon, their sand shinobi throws the rope and starts to climb up. After a while, it was third cage's turn. Climbing can only be done by one person alone. But now, third cage collapsed badly. In order to maintain his last bit of majesty, he could only bite the bullet. Grit your teeth. Hands on. Only. Halfway through the climb, third cage couldn't hold on anymore. Bark. Bark. Look, everyone. Cage-sama has fallen. What a fart. Hurry up and help Cage-sama. You did the wrong thing. This is Cage-sama's foot. Ah? Cage-sama passed out. Tonight is starry. Chiba was a little sleepy. Because, he will secretly go to collect the feces in a while. After learning the lesson from being witnessed by the Orochimaru team, he decided that he must be the only one when collecting manure in the future. He doesn't want to be talked about anymore. Wait a little longer, when everyone on the battlefield is asleep, I'll take the poop back. Silently applauding his wit in his heart, Chiba waited patiently. Actually, not only Chiba can't sleep tonight, but the Konoha shinobi players in the entire camp can't sleep. By the moonlight, they gathered around the observation tower, each in a hurry. Hey! My mask doesn't seem to be sewn right. Why is there a hole? Nonsense. You're holding lousy socks. Hurry up, everyone, this smell is really a bit high. The windy direction is really on time tonight. A group of people are working hard, sewing masks. Indeed, the wind direction tonight is a bit wrong, blowing from the sand shinobi position, making it difficult for them to sleep. So, under the call of Hitaki Sakumo, the ninjas of the entire camp gathered together and started the task of making masks for all staff. Even Hitaki Sakumo is no exception, and it is sewn meticulously. There is Chiba in the village, and this mask will be passed down from generation to generation. Hitaki Sakumo decided that when he has a son, he must wear a mask from an early age. Boom. 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 Suddenly, a subordinate ran over holding his nose. Master Shuo Mao, the urgent news has just been sent from the village. As the subordinate spoke, Hitaki was stunned. The ninjas around were also stunned. How could there be urgent news from the village in the middle of the night? Could it be that the village was bombed? How is it possible? Even if you are bombed, the village cannot be bombed. Everyone, look at Master Sakumo's expression. It seems to have the same expression as eating ollie. Originally, Hitaki Sakumo was shocked by the contents of the scroll, but in the end, some sabby said that he had eaten ollie, and now, he couldn't help but look at the 10 subordinates. What did you say about me? Ah. Master Sakumo, I saw your expression just now, and Sand Shinobi was beaten by ollie. Boom. Boom. Dwang. Before the subordinate finished speaking, he was beaten up by the surrounding ninjas. Do you dare to say that Master Shuo Mao eats ori? Everyone beat him to death. Stop hitting, everyone, look at that. Huh. Isn't that Chiba-sama? Soon, a group of people stopped, and all looked in one direction in unison. I saw, under the moonlight, Chiba sneaked out of the position. Master Chiba. What are you doing here? I don't know, anyway, it's impossible to eat ollie. Everyone, don't make a sound, it will be bad if you were discovered. Hush. Everyone fell silent, their eyes widened. Hitaki Sakumo also looked at Chiba, not knowing what he was going to do. That's all. As Chiba ran toward the canyon, a group of Konoha shinobi were peeping on tiptoe from under an observation tower. Not for a while. Chiba reached the edge of the canyon. There is no one now, collect the dung. Feeling rather proud, Chiba's mind moved. Multiple shit clones technique. When the imitation ability was activated, he directly created hundreds of shit clones. Afterwards, the doppelgangers dispersed. Moonlight. A large piece of feces in the canyon lifted into the air and floated into the air. Then, they began to gather and become a ball continuously. The giant dung ball is getting bigger and bigger, and it is still gathering the surrounding feces onto the dung ball. He's recycling poop. This dung ball is too big. What a powerful ability. How can he recycle such a big dung ball? He can't eat it, right? Have no idea. This group of people is very curious. Even if the feces are condensed into a feces ball, what should they do next? Go with the dung ball? Next moment, something surprising happened. I saw that the giant dung ball collapsed and compressed, and suddenly doubled in size. In the blink of an eye, the dung ball shrinks again, as if by magic. It has been continuously reduced for times, and the dung ball is only the size of a fist. Grunt. Under the stunned gaze of the crowd, Chiba directly stuffed the dung ball into his mouth and swallowed it with difficulty. He emphasized for the nth time. He didn't eat it, he just passed the dung ball through his mouth and sent it into the septic tank. Chiba knew that he didn't eat the dung ball at all, the mouth was just a passage. He understood, but a group of watching ninjas did not understand. Did I read wrong? He swallowed it? You read that right, he did eat it. Master Chiba dares to eat Ori. When it comes to eating Ali, Master Chiba is the leader. They were all dumbfounded, and their eyeballs were all round. Next. Under the gaze of a group of wretched eyes, Chiba strolled slowly back to the camp, and went back to the house to sleep. Hey. Such a fierce and strong man, the village actually asked me to protect him with all my strength? Hitaki Sakumo sighed, the scroll in his hand was unsteady. Early the next morning. Chiba woke up full of energy. He is going back to the village. After all, now that there is no one in the Sand Shinobi position, it is useless to stay here. It was planned that he was going to leave, but what Chiba didn't expect was that Hitaki Sakumo also took part of his subordinates to follow him on the road. Along the way, Chiba always felt that there was something wrong with the way these people looked at him. Confused, Chiba approached Hitaki Sakumo, wanting to ask what was going on. Boom. 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 As a result, as soon as he got closer, the other party immediately opened the distance. Why hide from me? I don't have any smell. Chiba doesn't understand. So, he wanted to find other people to ask. Crash. As soon as he moved, all the nearby ninjas scattered. Now, Tianyi was not calm anymore. He ran directly to a big man who blocked him at the beginning, and began to ask why. Master Chiba, actually. The big man was about to speak. The next ticks, he found that everyone around him was staring at him, with a warning in their eyes. Actually what? Say it. Actually, we want to set up a formation to protect your safety. The big man responded wittily. Just then, Hitaki Sakumo came. Chiba, this is from the village last night, look. Passing the scroll over, Hitaki Sakumo gave the big man a lot of admiration. Chiba really didn't expect it. What the other party said turned out to be true. The content on the scroll can testify. Let Hitaki Sakumo keep himself safe. The village is too worried about me, and sent so many people to protect me. With a warm heart, Chiba was quite emotional. Everyone around breathed a sigh of relief. Suddenly, Chiba thought of something. Don't you occupy the Sand Shinobi position? Puzzled, Chiba didn't understand. Now that Sand Shinobi's position is empty, it's great to occupy the opponent's position and continue to advance. We are only defending the border, and the Sand Shinobi position occupies the territory of the Kawa no country. Hitaki Sakumo opened his mouth to explain. Once we take the Sand Shinobi position, it's no longer a defender, it becomes an aggressor. This aggressor is not invading Sand Shinobi, but the country of Kawa. When the other party said this, Chiba understood. Resist Sand and aid Sichuan. Actually, the main reason why Hitaki Sakumo returned to the village was to report on the battle situation. He really didn't know how to write it, so he had to go back to the village in person. After half a day, Konoha village has arrived. Chiba ran all the way to the back mountain, while Hitaki went to the Hokage building. Hokage meeting room. Hitaki Sakumo reported the situation of the border in detail. Okay. Go home and rest. Sarutobi Hiruzen waved his hand, motioning for the opponent to back down. Soon, there were only 4 senior executives left in the conference room. Danzo was in a daze. Homura was also in a daze. Kaharu was also in a daze. They never imagined that Chiba alone defeated the entire Sand Shinobi frontline force. What shocked them even more was that even 3rd Kazekage, known as the strongest Kazekage in history, fell into Chiba's hands. Compared to the reactions of the 3 of Danzo, Sarutobi Hiruzen looked dignified. Too fast. The speed of Chiba's rise is simply too fast. Sarutobi Hiruzen is very sure that if it were him, it would be impossible to stop Sand Shinobi, but Chiba defeated the Sand Shinobi army. There is a world of difference between the two. Boom. 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 Tapping on the table, Hiruzen tried to calm down his emotions. It's a good thing that Chiba defeated Sand Shinobi. Hiruzen spoke. Immediately, he changed the topic. However, his strength is growing too fast, and his heart will definitely swell, breeding pride, arrogance, and arrogant thoughts. Hearing what Sarutobi Hiruzen said, Danzo and the others fell silent. One person defeated the entire Sand Shinobi army, isn't it normal for such a person to swell a bit? Do people want to pretend to be grandchildren? Scanning the expressions of these 3 people, Sarutobi Hiruzen spoke again. Chiba defied orders twice and left the village privately, showing signs of being out of control. I think there's a need to start monitoring Chiba. Speaking of which, Sarutobi Hiruzen looked to Danzo. He needs support. Danzo is his best partner. In the field, being stared at by Hiruzen, Danzo felt unspeakably uncomfortable. On the one hand, he has a private deal with Chiba, but now, Hiruzen wants to support and monitor Chiba himself? If this matter is known to Chiba, his basic source of funds will definitely be cut off. Danzo, I still haven't sent Uchiha even though it's Sand Shinobi's frontier, do you know why? Hiruzen stared at Danzo and asked the question. Danzo certainly knew why. Not only did he know that this was what he had proposed in the first place. Uchiha is inherently proud, and once he has military exploits, pride will quickly grow and swell. This would threaten their rule. Same. Sarutobi Hiruzen compares Chiba and Uchiha, which is obviously afraid of Chiba's strength. I agree. After a long silence, Danzo spat out these words. He had no choice. I object. Suddenly, Homura spoke. Oh? As a high-level executive, don't you think about the safety of the village? Sarutobi Hiruzen narrowed his eyes. Now there are 2 votes in favor. If both Homura and Kaharu are opposed, he will be hard to convince. Hiruzen. Don't forget, Chiba saved Asuma. Staring at Sarutobi Hiruzen, Homura spoke the matter. Unbeknownst to Chiba, he has aroused the suspicion of the village's higher-ups. Now, he is standing by a large pit in the back mountain, looking at the densely packed corpses of livestock in the pit. Is this how your family raises bugs? Looking at the bugs that crawled in and out of the corpse from time to time, Chiba felt his scalp go numb. Too disgusting. However, Mei doesn't think so. Actually, as long as it is a living thing, it is a vegetative body. These livestock are dead, and it is just right to use them to cultivate worms. This. Chiba was speechless, because he found that Jingmei's 823 made a lot of sense. It's like us. If we die, we will be covered with maggots. My father said that this is the reincarnation of all things. Chiba. Makes sense. So I thought, if I die, let the clansmen spark me off, so that I won't be afraid that others will use my dead body for experiments. While Jingmei spoke, she was contemplative, like a philosopher. Ahem. Let's talk about bugs. Chiba was about to die, so he hurriedly changed the subject. At this time, the Aburame patriarch came over slowly and patted Chiba on the shoulder. Chiba, you can't concentrate. After leaving this sentence, the old man strode away. Vomit. Suddenly, Yi felt a burst of nausea. He was shocked. After eating so much ollie. He has never felt like throwing up since he collected feces for a long time, but now, he wants to throw up. What's wrong with you? Jingmei looked anxious and hurriedly asked. Next moment, Chiba couldn't take it anymore. He felt like something was about to crawl out of his mouth. Vomit, puff. Suddenly, he threw up. What he spit out was neither ollie nor phlegm, but a golden worm the size of a fist. The whole body of the bug is golden yellow, with weird lines all over the body. What's even more peculiar is that the golden worm has dozens of pairs of eyes, which looks extremely scary. The golden worm flew out and circled around Yu Yi's head. Pause time. Dense worms drilled out of the livestock carcasses in the pit and flew towards Chiba. This is my previous bug? Jingmei's eyes widened in disbelief. She didn't recognize it at first, because the worm was black at the beginning, and its size was even smaller than a finger cap. How did it turn golden after it came out of Chiba's mouth? It's still so big? In the field, dense worms flew out from the livestock carcasses and surrounded the golden worms. Looking at the posture, it seems that he is worshipping the king. What's going on? Why did all the bugs fly on Chiba's head? Look, there's a golden bug on top of his head. Gold bug? Could it be? This is the legendary king worm that father said? This scene was so loud that many members of the Aburame clan exclaimed. Even Patriarch Aburame's complexion changed drastically, thinking of the legendary master worm. According to legend, King Chong is the emperor of all insects and can command all insects. K. Chiba was dumbfounded and wanted to curse. He was once surrounded by a group of flies, and now he was surrounded by a group of bugs. Chiba has a feeling now. As long as he moves his mind, the golden bug will obey his orders. However, he didn't want the bug. The feces have already made him no friends, and if there is another army of bugs, won't he end up alone in the future? Suddenly, Chiba's eyes lit up. I remember, Jingmei kept saying that I stole her bugs, she must have lost them. Chiba thought he was too witty. Jingmei, open your mouth. After speaking, Chiba had a thought. The golden worm received the instruction, and got into Aburame Jingmei's mouth with a buzz sound. Gollum, Jingmei was dumbfounded. She didn't want to open her mouth at first, she just wanted to ask why she opened her mouth. But as a result, as soon as she opened her mouth, the bug got in. Here. The swarm of insects that had surrounded Chiba's head changed direction and flew to Yu Jingmei's head. Amen. I wish you a happy life, silently blessed Chiba, and ran straight into the wooden house. Dung. After closing the wooden door, Chiba remained silent. The members of the Aburame clan ran to Jingmei one after another. They want to know what's going on. Swish. To say that the speed is fast, it has to be the Aburame patriarch. He directly cast the worm blink body, and came to his daughter in the blink of an eye. Jingmei. That golden bug just now was given to you by Chiba? Ah? Chief Aburame was overwhelmed with excitement. This is the legendary king worm. With this worm, wouldn't the entire ninja world be at the mercy of their family? Is this king bug given to you by Chiba? Ah? Ah what? I've seen it all. The Aburame patriarch stared at his daughter, trying to find a more accurate answer. He made me open my mouth and the bugs got in. It's that simple. After hearing his daughter's answer, Patriarch Aburame fell silent. He thought of one thing. Before, Jingmei's bug was lost. Then, Jingmei ran to Chiba's house from time to time. That is to say, when Jingmei's worm ran into Chiba's body, it began to evolve, and finally evolved into a king worm? Thinking of this, Chief Aburame adjusted his sunglasses. Bugs are very important to the Aburame family, but now it seems that leaves are more important to the Aburame family. Well, Jingmei, I thought about it, the farm is very suitable for our family. Jingmei. Patriarch Aburame. So I decided that our family can relocate here to study bugs better. Jingmei. Is it too hasty? In the cabin. Chiba hid for most of the day. He didn't open the door until there was no sound outside the house. Eh? Jingmei? Why are you standing at the door? Seeing Jingmei outside the door, Chiba was shocked. He hurriedly looked around and found that the bugs were gone, so he was relieved. Chiba, I'm sorry. At this time, Jingmei was apologetic and shy. I didn't have your consent. Actually, I didn't get your consent either. Chiba put on the same expression and said the same words. Jingmei was stunned. Chiba also changed his stunned expression. How do you learn from me? I didn't learn it, I just imitated it. Why don't you study now? Not suitable for me. As if sensing Chiba's funny emotions, the golden kingworm came out of Jingmei's body. Stared at by dozens of pairs of eyes, Chiba immediately gave the order to go back. Immediately, King Chong turned around and went back again. Chiba is very guilty. He didn't want the bug, so he gave it to Jingmei. However, he is still the #1 owner of this bug. Jingmei, you have to cultivate this bug slowly, I trust you. I will work hard. Encouraged by Chiba, Jingmei is full of confidence. Later, she remembered the family relocation, but Chiba had disappeared. After leaving the mountain, Chiba walked towards the village, ready to eat. After all, the owner of the kebab shop is his best friend and can eat kebab there for a year. As he walked, Chiba stopped. He looked towards a haystack. Come out. Rub. 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 Seeing the 3 people emerging from the haystack, Yi looked constipated. Let me declare first, we are here to protect you, not to track you. Jiraiya raised her hand, afraid of being misunderstood. Protect? Chiba almost laughed out of anger. Does Laozi need the protection of the 3 of you? What's more, this is still in the village. While I'm not angry, quickly disappear for me. After speaking, Chiba left with strides. Outside the village, even if these 3 guys kept talking about him, Chiba endured it. But now in the village, these 3 people are still following him, so Chiba has to suspect that they have ulterior motives. Have you ever seen a protector in a village? Chiba walked forward, and the 3 followed behind. Chiba turned his head, and the 3 of them just stared at him. Hee, it seems that you were very confident. Sarutobi Hiruzen gave you the courage? Chiba smiled. He looked at Jiraiya. Ability activation. The reincarnation of grains. Next moment. Puff. With a long fart sound at the end, Jiraiya was loose. His expression froze for an instant, his eyes widened. At the same time, the smell of Ali wafted from his trouser pocket. Bark. Face fell directly to the ground. Jiraiya was stunned. Orochimaru was going to help, but Jiraiya fell too suddenly, and he was lonely. At this time, Chiba had already set his sights on Orochimaru. As soon as Orochimaru opened his mouth, he immediately felt the chrysanthemum loosen. He felt that the feces in the large intestine were rushing out crazily, and he couldn't stop at all. His trouser pockets were all wet. Bark. Face to Jiraiya, because fell to the ground. When Chiba looked at Tsunade, Chiba froze for a moment. Tsunade didn't show any fear when he found this, but a look of expectation? Chiba couldn't take it anymore. The other party's expression is obviously underestimating himself. The ability activates instantly, reincarnation of grains. Get down for lousy. Puff, no surprises. Tsunade also had diarrhea. But, compared to the other two, Tsunade's expression was full of enjoyment and blurred. Good comfort, bark. Even after falling to the ground, Tsunade is still reminiscing about the feeling just now. Chiba was dumbfounded. He suddenly remembered that in Sand Shinobi Village, Inobi Hana got this trick back then, and she had the same reaction. Worry. There is a bug in this ability. Hokage office. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned, looking at the detailed information about Chiba on the scroll. The scroll records Chiba's growth from childhood to adulthood. Both parents died at the age of 3, refused to go to the orphanage, and grew up picking up trash alone. Just after reading the first line, Sarutobi Hiruzen can conclude that Chiba has nothing to do with him. Once out of control, it will bring huge crisis to the village. Bark. Throwing the scroll on the table, Sarutobi Hiruzen stared deeply. Taking a deep breath, he picked up the scroll again. Skipped the content in the middle, and his eyes fell on the two names. Mito Fujiki. Aburame Shizumi. Fujiki is the son of Homura. And Aburame Shizumi, was Danzo sent to Chiba in the first place? Seeing this news, Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart skipped a beat. So that's it. It turns out that he has been in contact with Chiantu for a long time. He thought that in the previous meeting, Danzo was silent for a long time before choosing to support himself. Thinking about it now, Danzo probably knew something already. Even Sarutobi Hiruzen suspected that Danzo had some private deal with Chiba. Not only Danzo, but also Homura. His son was saved 3 times by Chiba, which is also a problem. The thought of Mitokado Homura publicly opposing him at the meeting, Sarutobi Hiruzen was extinguished. Boom. 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 Suddenly, footsteps sounded outside the door. Sarutobi Hiruzen closed the scroll and tried to restore peace. Master Hokage. What's up? An accident happened to the Orochimaru team. What? Hearing Anbu's report, Sarutobi Hiruzen was shocked. He obviously sent the Orochimaru team to monitor Chiba. Why did it take so long for something to happen? Who attacked them? No, they have diarrhea. Anbu was a little embarrassed and told the truth. Diarrhea? Sarutobi Hiruzen froze. Later, he understood Chu. Before, Hitaki Sakumo reported the frontline situation and told about 3rd Kage's diarrhea in public. It now appears that Chiba was responsible for Orochimaru's diarrhea. The 3 Orochimaru are their disciples. Chiba has no scruples? It's out of control now. Squinting his eyes slightly, Sarutobi Hiruzen's thoughts kept changing. Chiba didn't understand. He found that as soon as he walked into the street, many ninjas greeted him. Among them, 99% he did not know. When he came to the barbecue shop, even stranger things happened. Chiba. What a coincidence. Hyuga Hiyashi came out of nowhere and sat next to Chiba. Boss. Chiba's barbecue is on my head. Shouting to the boss, Hyuga Hiyashi stared at Chiba enthusiastically. Chiba is numb. He had already given the boss a year's worth of barbecue money. Did he use someone else to pay for it? In particular, what is the situation where the other party has been scanning back and forth on him? Ahem. Do you have something to ask me? Chiba spoke. He felt that there was nothing wrong with his understanding. If it's okay, why is the other party so enthusiastic? Facing Chiba's question, Hyuga Hiyashi scratched his head and nodded again. Say it. What's the matter? But let me declare first, I can't help you with anything. You can talk. Hyuga Hiyashi was dumbfounded. He was about to speak, but the other party said this. I actually want to be your friend, forehead? Chiba was a little surprised. After a long time, it turned out that they wanted to be friends with me. Misunderstand. Misunderstood. Okay. Chiba smiled brightly. Senior Chiba. What a coincidence. Suddenly, the familiar word sounded again. However, why is there the word, senior? Chiba and Hiyashi turned their heads together. As a result, they saw Uchiha Fugaku and sat down beside him. Are you? Uchiha Fugaku? A little uncertain, Chiba opened his mouth suspiciously. In fact, he is really not familiar with the other party. The only time we met was when we were collecting manure. At that time, Chiba clearly remembered that the other party didn't care about him, so why did the other party break up like this when they met for the second time? Senior Chiba, last time you came to the family, you were wearing a mask, I didn't recognize you. As if explaining, Uchiha Fugaku's face was full of sincerity. In terms of age, Chiba is several years older than Fugaku, so Fugaku feels that his title is okay. Chiba really couldn't figure it out. First Hyuga Hiyashi, then Uchiha Fugaku. It seems that I have become a fragrant bun all of a sudden. I want to ask, What's going on with you two? Don't seniors know? I know a hammer. Hammer? Uchiha Fugaku didn't understand, neither did Hyuga Hiyashi. Don't mention the hammer. What about the two of you? Senior, you defeated the entire Sand Shinobi army alone on the front line, and even made third Kazekage loose on the spot. All the ninjas in the village know about it. Yeah, Chiba, don't hide it, I know you are strong. The two spoke one after another, their tone excited. Even, in the excitement, there was a little awe. Chiba. He gets it. After a long time, Yuan's great deeds were exposed. In fact, this matter cannot be concealed at all. Previously, Hitaki Sakumo brought back some frontline ninjas. It was these people who told his story. Not only did they say it, but the 8 people even added fuel and vinegar to it, smearing third Kazekage severely. Chiba is so happy today. In the yakiniku restaurant, Hyuga Hiyashi and Uchiha Fugaku praised him repeatedly, making him forget to eat the yakiniku. Senior Chiba, the third Kazekage is known as the strongest Kazekage in history, but he was wiped out with one move by you. I also heard that the entire Sand Shinobi position was flooded, and thousands of Sand Shinobi were washed into the canyon. Senior Chiba is too strong. Among our peers, no one can surpass you. I, Hyuga Hiyashi, originally called you the strongest. Uchiha Fugaku praised Chiba's heroic appearance, and Hyuga Hiyashi launched the strongest player of his age. However, Chiba always feels that there is a sentence so familiar. Until Chiba walked out of the barbecue restaurant, the words of the two people still echoed in his ears. What two sincere people, I have made up these two friends. Turning around and waving goodbye to the two, Yi was reluctant to part. Carrying the packed barbecue, he walked all the way to the back mountain. This is the barbecue he packed for Jingmei. After all, people often feed themselves, and he has to vote back once. Walking in the street. From time to time, ninjas cast friendly glances, and some even said hello. Chiba was overjoyed about this. Senior Chiba. Coming to the back mountain, a voice sounded. Chiba turned around and found that it was Fujiki. Aren't you exhausted? Yes. Fujiki was a little embarrassed. Since he was detoxified by Chiba last time, he has been in a state of collapse, and he has just recovered. Senior, how is your farm doing? Hey, it's hard to say. Sighing, the two walked towards the back mountain together. In the cabin, Aburame Shizumi is eating barbecue, Chiba and Fujiki are sitting on one side. Suddenly, Jingmei seemed to think of something. By the way, Chiba, I found Tsunade lying on the road this morning. Jingmei spoke, with a strange look on her face. She originally wanted to go to the village to find Chiba, but she saw 3 people lying on the ground on the way, and she was so scared that she ran back quickly. Oh, they may be tired, you continue to eat yours. Chiba blindly found an excuse and prevaricated. After finishing speaking, Yi was taken aback. He looked at Jingmei, then at Fujiki. That's right. Even Tsunade and the others are a team of 3, why can't I form a team of 3? The more he thought about it, the more feasible Chiba felt. Ever since, he put forward his proposal. Let's form a team of 3. The voice is over. Shizumi nodded. Fujiki shook her head. Chiba can understand Shizumi's nod, but what does Fujiki mean by shaking his head? Fujiki, aren't you my friend? Chiba asked in confusion. As a result, Fujiki nodded. Then let's form a team of 3? Fujiki shook his head again. This time, Yi couldn't understand. Now. Fujiki looked constipated, and looked back and forth between Chiba and Shizumi. One of you uses dung and the other uses worms. I don't want to team up with you. Chiba. Jingmei. Chiba felt that Fujiki was discriminating against him. So, he started a friendly persuasion. My method of detoxification has been useless for a long time, Fujiki, what do you think? Chiba raised his hand. Fujiki. Don't move. I promise. But, the 3 of us can't form a team. According to the village's regulations, the minimum requirement for forming a team must be genin, but you don't have a ninja forehead protector. After being told by Fujiki, Shizumi suddenly realized, but Chiba didn't know why. Fujiki is right. Although you are strong, you are not a certified ninja. You wait. Chiba was not convinced. Liuyan ran away. Hokage office. A flame appeared in the palm of Sarutobi Hiruzen, burning the scroll recording the Chiba material. Dwang. Suddenly, the office door was pushed open. Who? The sudden sound startled Hiruzen. Then, he hurriedly kicked half of the scroll to his feet. Chiba? Seeing that it was Chiba, Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart tightened. Ahem. Lord Hokage, I'm sorry, I ran a little faster and didn't stop. Chiba looked apologetic. He was in such a hurry just now that he forgot to knock on the door. Busy. I'm going to be a ninja. Chiba is full of sincerity and speaks truthfully. Become a ninja? You came in so anxiously, that's why. Of course, only by becoming a ninja can I form a team. Hearing that Chiba was going to form a team, Sarutobi Hiruzen became more vigilant. Who are you going to team up with? Shizumi and Fujiki. Silence. Sarutobi Hiruzen fell silent. Sure enough, are you going to start forming your own forces? Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart had hit rock bottom. In his opinion, Aburame Shizumi represents Danzo, and Mito Hiroki represents Menko. If the establishment of Chiba is successful, wouldn't it mean that the two high-level leaders have gone to each other's side? In this way, he is a dignified Hokage who has become a polished commander in the upper echelons. So, the squad must not let Chiba form. Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen showed embarrassment. To form a team, the minimum requirement is genin, but you haven't attended a ninja school, so according to the regulations, you can't become a ninja. Chiba was dumbfounded. What is this rule? But it's not right, many ninjas have never been to ninja school. That's because they were cultivated by their respective families and recommended by their families, while you are just a commoner. But I beat 3rd Kazekage. Rules are rules, it doesn't matter who you beat. Sarutobi Hiruzen was full of regret. This time, Chiba's eyes narrowed. My fat tiger suspects that you are embarrassing me, 3rd Hokage. Chiba's tone changed. The same sincerity, but with questioning. He is not an idiot. The other party must have a reason for such an obvious rejection of himself. In the office, a sense of fear suddenly rose in Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart. He looked at Chiba and saw the anger in the other's eyes. About you, I will deal with it as soon as possible. Real? Real. Then hurry up. Leaving this sentence behind, Chiba left happily. Now. Sarutobi Hiruzen's face completely sank. Sarutobi Hiruzen said to deal with it as soon as possible, and Chiba believed it. He thought, if there is no ninja forehead protector, it would be a bit inconvenient. The simplest example. Before he went to the front line, he was called a spy by 8 big men. If you have a forehead protector, this kind of thing will definitely not happen. After returning to the back mountain in a happy mood, Chiba is full of expectations. Huh? Fujiki, are you leaving? On the back mountain road, Chiba saw Fujiki standing by the side of the road. At this time, Fujiki looked around furtively. It seemed that after confirming that no one was there, they came together. Chiba, my father asked me to tell you that Lord Hokage has monitored you. Fujiki's voice was very small, and his tone was extremely heavy. Monitor me? Chiba was taken aback. He thought of the Orochimaru trio in the morning. Now it seems that these 3 guys are monitoring themselves. However, he has been blurred and carried away. You have to be careful, my father said. Lord Hokage mentioned twice in a row that you went out of the village without permission. Having said that, Fujiki looked around again. By the way, don't say I said it. After leaving this sentence, Fujiki flashed away. Chiba walked to the side of the road, sat down on a rock, and began to collect his thoughts. He believes in friends. Therefore, he believed that Fujiki would not lie to himself. Just now Hokage has been refusing me to become a ninja, it seems that there is a real reason. Mumbling to himself, Chiba thought about one thing after another. He stole to the country of Vortex, but was found by Orochi for the team. He went to the front and was escorted back by Hitaki Tsukumo with a group of men. He returns to the village, where he is again followed by Orochimaru's team. Even just now, Hokage refused him to become a ninja. There must be a prelude to all this. What is it then? Resting on his chin, Chiba thought hard. Huh? Suddenly, a light flashed in his mind. He figured it out. That scroll. Yes, the scroll that Hitaki Tsukumo showed me. Chiba thinks he is too smart, because there is only one truth. Protect yourself. I'm going to the country of Vortex, because the snake protects me for the team. Returning to the village from the front line, Hitaki Tsukumo led his men to protect me. After returning to the village, the big snake pill team came to protect me again. Even refusing me to become a ninja just now is protecting me. As long as I can't become a ninja, I can't go out of the village to perform tasks. I can always stay in the village. Chiba was so moved. He never expected that 3rd Hokage would be so tactful and calm in order to protect himself. Just now, I was angry with Hokage-sama. Feeling a little guilty, Chiba felt that Hokage was too difficult. Whoosh. Suddenly, an Anbu appeared. Master Chiba, Master Danzo are waiting for you at the entrance of the village. Village entrance. He's not a village flower. What are you doing waiting for me at the village entrance? Your shit has arrived. Whoosh. Hearing the word, Dung, Chiba ran faster than anyone else, and saw Yazi ran towards the entrance of the village. He has a deal with Danzo, which is to exchange gold bars for poo. Soon, Chiba arrived at the entrance of the village. He saw dozens of ox carts full of dung. From Chiba's point of view, what kind of feces is this? It's love. It's Danzo's full love for himself. However, Chiba is a little dissatisfied with delivery to the village entrance. Chiba, check and accept. Danzo was wearing a mask, standing under the corner outside the village. Master Danzo, I didn't even notice you if you didn't speak. Chiba was a little embarrassed. He was so excited just now, I didn't even notice that there was a person standing under the wall. Can you send it to the back mountain next time? While strolling to the bullock cart, Chiba did not forget to make suggestions. Only, Danzo refused. What do you think will happen if dozens of dung trucks pass through the street? That seems to make sense. Chiba is no longer entangled with this, and is ready to collect the manure. But now there are root ninjas all around, and Danzo staring at him. How can he accept it? Well, can you avoid it for a while? Avoid what? Don't you want to watch you eat dung balls? Danzo shook his head, and went straight back. What are you talking about? Dung balls? What kind of dung balls? Chiba's face was full of disbelief. He didn't know how the other party knew. How could he even know that he had eaten dung balls? Must be those 3 guys from Orochimaru. Greeting the ancestors of these 3 people 100 times in my heart, Chiba felt so ashamed. He was happy today, but now, he is depressed. You are too vigilant, and now the ninjas in the whole village know that you eat shit. Danzo opened his mouth quietly, breaking a big news. Here. Chiba was completely dumbfounded. All the ninjas in the village know about it? Orochimaru 3 have such a big mouth? Shouting through a loudspeaker? You collected dung on the front line at night, and all the ninjas on the front line saw it. In the future, you should be more vigilant, forget it. Anyway, you know, it's useless if you don't raise your vigilance. Danzo kept shaking his head, feeling that Chiba's vigilance was too low. It's okay to be seen by 1 or 2 people, but it's really impossible for the entire Konoha frontline troops to see it. Chiba was silent. He has nothing to say. That night, he was careless. Who the hell would have imagined that people wouldn't sleep at night and would all peek at themselves collecting excrement? Chiba started collecting manure, lift-off, cohesion, compression. Finally, a fist-sized ball of dung fell on his hand. He planned to go back to the mountain to eat. He wants to retain his last bit of dignity. Thump. Walking towards the village with strides, the leaves of the fields were as dead ashes. Be careful recently, be more vigilant. Suddenly, Danzo's reminder came from behind him. Returning to the back mountain farm absent-mindedly, Chiba felt that the whole world was dark. He has no face. Chiba, what's wrong with you? Jingmei noticed Chiba's strangeness and came up to ask. It's okay, I'll go around the farm. Shaking his head, Tian Yi walked into the farm. At this time, Aburame Jui came over, looked at Chiba's back, and then turned to look at her sister. You two had a fight? No, then why is he downcast? I don't know, he came back like this. Jingmei really doesn't know. She was still thinking about asking, but Chiba obviously didn't want to say more. So she felt that it was best to let the other party be alone. I still don't have the strength. Suddenly, Patriarch Aburame appeared and spoke quietly. Father. Why do you always appear like a ghost? That's right, it scares me every time, the siblings complained. Hey, with a long sigh, Patriarch Aburame floated away. On the farm. Chiba starts at the bottom of the mountain and goes all the way to the top. After standing on the top of the mountain for a long time, he calmed down. From now on, I am the new Chiba. The old Chiba is dead. Me. Got a new life. Cheering for himself, Chiba suddenly felt much better. Ever since, he started tidying up the farm. First day. He cast the shit rain technique to fertilize the farm. The next day, he turned the farm's poisonous pools into swamp cesspit, which sank into the ground. Soon. The third day came. On this day, Chiba was going to find Danzo and asked him to send some water-style ninjas to fill the pool with water. Result. When he was walking on the back mountain road, he met a strange middle-aged man. Are you Chiba-sama? The middle-aged man was full of excitement, and trotted over all the way. Who are you? Looking at the dirty clothes on the other party, Chiba looked at the other party's face again, and asked suspiciously. He didn't know each other. My name is Kawano, and I'm a villager in Ono village. After speaking, Kawano took out a passport from his arms. You have something to do with me. I heard that my lord collects excrement, so our village collected excrement from nearby villages together, a total of 50 carts. 50 cars? Chiba's eyes lit up immediately. This Kawano is a good person. Just by his muddy clothes, it can be seen that this person must have traveled through mountains and rivers and endured untold hardships to come here. Halfway, we couldn't move anymore, and several cars were damaged on the road. What? You hired people to pull it? Chiba was surprised. He never imagined that these villagers are so difficult that they don't have cattle. Instead, they use human power to pull them? Our car is by a river 30 miles away from the village, Master Chiba, look. I go. Chiba patted his chest, promising to come down. It's only 30 miles away. Even if it is 300 miles, he will go. You point me in the right direction, and I'll go right away. Hearing Chiba's assurance, Kawano was grateful, and then pointed out the direction. Soon, Tianyi was on the road. Along the way, he also found time to make a few gold bars. Today. It is a great day for all the black market assassins in the Kingdom of Fire. Because, the underground gold exchange posted a new big order. Konoha Village. Chiba. Reward, 50 million taels. Ability. Manure control. Weaknesses. Fear of lightning style, illusion, and stealth assassination. Such a list, unexpectedly paid a sky-high price? This drives too many assassins crazy. In particular, this list does not limit the number of accesses, only the result is settled. As the top assassin in the black market, Kakuzu quickly discovered the big deal. So, he took up the task. Huh? Why is there a 6 on the mission I accept? Kakuzu was a little puzzled. In the past, there were no numbers at all when he received tasks. Why did this one appear as a 6? This means that 5 people in front of you have already accepted the mission. The receptionist smiled and replied. What? When did they start? An hour ago. Swish. Kakuzu left immediately. 1 hour. They need to lure that Chiba out of the village so I still have a chance. The footsteps quickened, and Kakuzu felt a little urgent. 50 million taels. This is equivalent to the price of half a cage-level powerhouse. Such a high price is actually the price of a shit-escaped ninja? It's just money-grabbing. Kakuzu didn't know what happened on the Sand Shinobi border, because he didn't ask for information about it at all. What's more, he is very confident in his own strength. Even First Hokage has been assassinated by me, he's just a piece of shit, use lightning style to kill him. Kakuzu's speed is not bad, he gallops all the way. Along the way, he even found traces left by the 5 assassins on their way. With the guidance of the traces, his speed increased sharply again. Huh? Is there any movement? Finally, he noticed the movement in front of him, and his footsteps stopped instantly. Quietly leaning over, Kakuzu smiled across the corner of his mouth. The 5 of them are hiding in 5 directions. It seems that they are preparing to ambush that Chiba. Just right. I can not only watch the battle, but also finish it. Having made up his mind, Kakuzu squatted silently. He planned to do finishing work at the end. Even if he killed these 5 people, he would have to enjoy a reward of 50 million taels alone. Time goes by. Sudden. A figure appeared in midair and fell to the ground stepping on a lump of illegal. Controlling feces flying. Nice ability. Remembering the other party's ability in my heart, I kept calm. After all, with 5 assassins rushing ahead, he could have used it to observe Chiba's feces abilities. At the moment, Chiba is in a daze. He rushed here all the way from the village, but in the end, he didn't even see a single hair. Where's the promised river? Where's the people? Where's the dung truck? The whole F*K is a lie. Knowing that he was being fooled, Chiba was very sad. This feeling of coming full of expectations and being disappointed in the end really made him very sad. At this moment, Chiba sensed the slight movement and frowned. Lightning style, Ben Lay technique, unexpected. A bolt of thunder burst out from behind a big tree. The thunderlight sizzled, exuding a dazzling white light, and hit Chiba directly. Whoosh, 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 at the same time. Several kunai were shot from the other 4 directions at the same time, with bright detonating symbols attached to them. Just a breath. Lei Guang and several kunai detonating symbols exploded at the same time. Zilla, boom, boom, boom. A violent explosion sounded, and the sound was deafening. A large cloud of smoke rose, engulfed in dust. Seeing this scene, Tian Ming assassin was overjoyed. But the next moment, they were stunned. I see. In the explosion smoke, countless dung ideas were thrown out by the explosion shockwave. The dung ideas were splashed everywhere, densely packed, like rain. Worry. Baji, get out of the way. Baji. Hey. There are too many, I didn't dodge. I'm covered in blood. The 5 people didn't react in time, and they were all thrown away. What makes them unbearable is that the smell of feces is too bad. This smell is exactly the same as the smell that was squeezed out after 10 days of constipation. Unanimously, the 5 people jumped up together. This. In the distance, the people of Kakuzu looked dumbfounded. He thought about Chiba's various feces abilities, but he didn't expect it to be so smelly. Just by looking at those assassins who have been vomiting, one can know that this feces can't easily get on their bodies. Suddenly, Kakuzu's nose moved. I am so far away, the smell has come. He hastily pinched his nose and continued to observe secretly. In the field, the smoke from the center of the explosion slowly cleared. I saw that a round dung ball with a diameter of more than 3 meters appeared impressively, with pits and hollows on it. Obviously, the feces in these potholes were blown out. Now, Chiba inside the dung ball continues to activate the mimicry ability. Shit eyes. This is transformed by him imitating the white eyes. His eyes turned into the shape given by Ollie, and he began to observe the situation outside the block. 5 people ambushed me. Why is there a spectator in the distance? In the field, the dung ball manifested, and the 5 assassins suddenly realized. No wonder Lousy was splashed with Ollie, it turned out that he condensed the feces into balls. He must be hiding in the dung ball. This dung ball is a bit big, the detonating talisman can't explode. I come. Suppressing the feeling of vomiting, the assassin wiped the Ollie on his face. With his Grandmaster wind style, he can slice open dung balls with his wind blades. With his hands quickly sealed, he let out a shout. Wind style. Inside the dung ball. Chiba saw this scene. No movement could escape his dung eyes. Want to seal? You think too much. Chiba sneered. The ability activates instantly. The reincarnation of grains. Next moment. Wind style. Wind puff. Before the ninja seal was finished, he felt the chrysanthemum loosen, and the Ollie in his body sprayed out like a floodgate. Puff puff. The other 4 people also had diarrhea, and their voices continued one after another. Even, one of them's Ollie squirmed too much, and directly punctured his trouser pocket. The stench was scattered in all directions, and the few people on the top were dizzy. He can not only control feces, but also diarrhea. Information doesn't mention this ability at all. He's coming out. It's over, I'm exhausted. Destroy quickly, I'm tired. The 5 people were lying on the ground, their limbs were limp and their bodies were weak. Now, they no longer have the strength to cover their noses, or even the strength to vomit. Chiba stepped out of the dung ball. He stepped in front of several people, with a devilish smile on his face. Imitation ability activated. Shit cut. Puff, puff, puff. After slashing at the 5 people, Chiba raised his knife and dropped it. After finishing these, Chiba turned around and walked towards a big tree tens of meters away. He came. At this moment, Kakuzu, who was hiding behind the tree, looked shocked. Because, he also had diarrhea. He has 5 hearts, but only 1 chrysanthemum. Therefore, he is also powerless now. If it weren't for the support of 5 hearts, he would have fallen from the tree. Step. 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 Chiba walked about 10 meters away from the big tree and raised his right hand. Imitation ability activated. Shit gun. Whoosh. The shit gun shot out quickly, directly piercing the big tree through Yuan. Plop. A figure was pierced through the heart and fell down. Now, Kakuzu felt it would be safer to play dead. After all, he was weak and lost a heart, so he was at an absolute disadvantage. Moreover, he had successfully escaped from First Hokage's hands by pretending to be dead. Play dead. Kakuzu is professional. After falling from the tree, he remained motionless and assumed the appearance of a corpse. I pretend to be so professional, so I should be able to pass by? While lying quietly, Kakuzu did not forget to give a thumbs up to his wit. Step. 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 He heard footsteps approaching. He knew that the opponent was going to make up for it. After all, he had just witnessed Chiba cutting those 5 assassins in half. Next moment. Puff. Shit cuts down and goes straight to Kakuzu's second heart. Coincidence. This must be a coincidence. Besides, he should leave after cutting the heart. Kakuzu made a judgment in his heart, and felt that his guess should be right. But next. Puff. His third heart was also broken. Why did he fix so many knives on me? Kakuzu couldn't understand. The 5 people on the opponent's side made up the knife, only 1 person and 1 knife. How come to me, there are only so many knives? It's not fair. Just thought of this. Puff. His 4th heart. Broken. Now, he only has his last heart. If the other party comes here again, he will really be gone. Brother, don't kill me. At this moment, Kakuzu yelled in a hurry, for fear that it would be too late and he would be cold. Huh. I thought you'd always play dead. Chiba smiled, and the movement of his hands stopped. From the moment he opened the dung eyes, Kakuzu's 5 hearts were exposed to Chiba's eyes. Play dead? This is of no use to ye. Kakuzu opened his eyes, his face was ashen, trying to get up. But he didn't have any strength in his limbs, and he fluttered for a long time without success. Forget it. Just lie down like this. Your name is Kakuzu, right? I heard you're good at managing money? Looking at Kakuzu on the ground, Chiba opened his mouth slightly. Kakuzu froze. He never imagined that Chiba knew himself? Yes. Kakuzu did not deny it, because even if he died, he would not buy his life with money. He believes that money is more important than loot. Chiba thought for a moment and came up with a great idea. He trekked mountains and rivers for 30 miles, and was tricked to come here, so he couldn't just go back empty-handed like this. And Kakuzu in front of him can just become his spokesperson for collecting dung outside the village. Wow. Thinking of this, Tianyi directly threw out 8 large gold bars. Bullion. Seeing such a long gold bar, Kakuzu straightened his eyes immediately. Kakuzu, this is a 1% deposit. You help me collect the feces, and I will pay you 800 later. Silence. Kakuzu was dumbfounded. My brain is buzzing. Such a large gold bar, 800 pieces? Just to get yourself paid? This is even faster than picking up money. It's like people lying on the ground and money falling from the sky. When he came back to his senses, Tien had already left. I'm leaving now. Where's the contact information? Hey. When will you give me the 800 gold bars? Kakuzu was anxious to death. Is there any business like this? At least leave a contact information. Forget it. At that time, I will only be able to contact him. Kakuzu knows Chiba's name, appearance, and village. These 3 things are enough. He is a top assassin in the black market. If he can't even find anyone, then he doesn't have to do it. Attracted by the gold, Kakuzu stood up in no time. This gold bar is really long. Seriously stuffing the gold bars into his sleeves, Kakuzu was about to leave. However, he had just walked a few steps before stopping again. The 5 people just now seem to have rewards on the black market. Underground exchange. In order to explain why there is such a large order at such a high price, the gold exchange has updated the information on Chiba. Konoha Village. Chiba. Reward, 50 million taels. Ability. Manure control. Weaknesses. Fear of lightning style, illusion, and stealth assassination. Achievements. Kill Luo Sha. Defeat Sand Shinobi frontline troops, defeat 3rd Cage. When this updated information was released, a group of assassins cursed. This is a trap. Laozi almost picked it up. One person defeated Sand Shinobi's frontline troops, and also defeated 3rd Cage? Such a strong man is only 50 million taels? Laozi wants to quit the mission. Who will die? I don't know which Shabi issued this reward. With such a small amount of money, dare to offer a reward to a cage-level expert? Originally, they were crazy and rushed from all over the land of fire just to accept this reward. But now, no one wants to pick it up. Jonin with good strength has offered a reward price of 30 million taels, but this Chiba, a cage-level powerhouse, was only offered 50 million taels? This person can even defeat 3rd Cage. He is definitely the top powerhouse in cage level. We are not bad, at least we have seen the updated information, but before that, 6 people have gone to assassinate. Someone gloated and said this. Then they must be gone. Which 6 people are they? Have you been offered a reward? We can collect their heads. Yes. Please form a team. Count me in. These people changed very quickly, from assassinating Chiba directly to picking up the heads of 6 people. Engaged in assassination work all year round, many people are also on the reward list. It's just that many assassins have a set of concealment measures, which also makes others confused about each other's identities. Only those top assassins will show their faces, because they are very confident in their own strength and are not afraid of other people's assassination. Tread. Suddenly, a figure walked into the gold exchange office. This person carried 5 heads on his back, his expression was extremely indifferent, and he exuded a powerful aura. In particular, the opponent didn't cover his face at all, and was instantly recognized by the surrounding assassins. It's Kakuzu. I remember him, he was one of the 6 people who went on to assassinate Chiba. The 5 heads on his body, shouldn't they belong to the 5 assassins? He came back alive? People around whispered and looked in awe. To be able to assassinate cage-level powerhouses and get away with it, this strength has to be frightening. Master Kakuzu, is the mission complete? The receptionist smiled. Snort. Glancing at the other party, Kakuzu showed dissatisfaction and snorted coldly. Your intelligence has seriously failed. I fought that Chiba for a long time, but I didn't expect him to fly. Good luck to him. On the way back to the village, Chiba kept thinking about a problem. Who is it? Posted your bounty on the black market. As for why Chiba knew he was offered a reward. Because he met Kakuzu. As for the people behind the scenes, the first thing he thought of was Third Cage. Because Chiba is only feuding with Third Cage. But here comes the problem. Third Cage fled back to Sand Shinobi Village with the remnants of his defeated generals. Does the other party really dare to offer a bounty on himself on the black market? So, Chiba thought about it differently. It shouldn't be him. Just imagine. The other party clearly knows that Chiba has the ability to drop feces from the sky in a large area. Would he be stupid enough to provoke him again? Isn't he afraid that Chiba will run to Sand Shinobi Village and turn the whole village into a cesspit? But besides Third Cage, who else? He thought of Uchiha Madara. However, Tien Yi felt that it was impossible. Chiba concluded that with Uchiha Madara's pride, he would not place a bounty on himself, but would continue to send White Zetsu, or do it himself. So far, all suspicious persons have been screened. Chiba found that the biggest suspect at present is Third Cage on the 11th. Go back to the village. As soon as Chiba went to the street, he found that some ninjas looked at him strangely. I am who I am, different fireworks, whatever I like. Ignoring the eyes of others, Chiba strolled to the barbecue restaurant. He didn't look for that Kawano who fooled him. From Chiba's point of view, the opponent should have disappeared long ago, and it is impossible to find him. Boss, have some barbecue. Say hello to the boss, Chiba is ready for dinner. It's just that the boss is twitchy, hesitant to speak. What are you doing in a daze? Didn't I give you a year's meal money? Ahem, Chiba, look, can you pack it and take it away? The boss opened his mouth cautiously, and when he finished speaking, he looked expectant. As the owner of a barbecue restaurant, he naturally heard the customers talking about Chiba eating. In this way, if Chiba comes to eat barbecue in his shop again, it will seriously affect the business of the shop. Who wants to sit in a store with a man who eats shit? Boom. 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 Suddenly, a figure ran to the door of the store. Chiba. You are here. Uchiha Fugaku heaved a sigh of relief, and gave him a look to signal that something was up. Chiba stood up. Boss, I, Fat Tiger, suspect that you were discriminating against me. Leaving this sentence behind, Chiba left. Chiba just walked on the front foot. Then, the boss's face changed. What's the smell? It smells so bad. Boss. Did you shit? Everyone, look under the table. Is that a lump of Ali? Ah, the customers in the store went crazy, pinching their noses one by one, running wildly. At this time, the boss lowered his head and saw the fresh lump of aligo under the table, still steaming. Ah. Walking down the street, Uchiha Fugaku looked back in surprise. Chiba, the yakiniku restaurant owner is crazy. Maybe he's singing. Chiba disagrees. Dare to discriminate against yourself? A dip in Ali will get you covered. By the way, what do you want from me? Our family patrol caught a suspicious person related to you. Uchiha Fugaku didn't hide anything and spoke truthfully. Suspicious person. About yourself? Chiba thought for a while, only thinking of one person. Isn't that person called Kawano? It seems that you have met before. Not surprised, Fugaku brought Chiba to the security department. As soon as he walked into the security department, Chiba saw a middle-aged man with bags all over his face. Today, Kawano has footprints all over his body, his face is swollen like a pig's head, and there is a bloodline on the corner of his mouth. If you don't look carefully, Chiba really can't recognize each other. Taking a statement from the tribe, Fugaku handed it over. Look, this person is sneaky and revealed it under questioning. Ask? Chiba took the statement with a suspicious look on his face. This was obviously asked by punching and kicking, and he was not blind. Looking at the contents of the confession, Chiba's face darkened. Sand Shinobi. This person was actually sent by Sand Shinobi? The purpose is to lure myself out of the village. After a brief moment of anger, Chiba froze. He is not an idiot. Because he found that many things in this confession were wrong. In the field, seeming to have noticed Chiba's strangeness, Fugaku spoke. You also noticed something was wrong? It's not true. The two looked at each other with a tacit understanding. If it was really Sand Shinobi, they wouldn't be so stupid as to go to him without changing his clothes. Yeah, and this Kawano has lived in Onimura for a long time. How can he know Sand Shinobi's clothes and forehead protector? The two sang together and resolved the doubts. This confession is clearly telling Chiba that it was Sand Shinobi who did it. Come and beat me up. Then the problem comes. So, there is a mastermind behind the scenes, pretending to be Sand Shinobi, and leading you out of the village through Kawano. It's not as simple as leading out the village. I just experienced assassinations by black market assassins. As soon as Chiba finished speaking, Uchiha Fugaku suddenly realized. So that's how it is. The people behind the scenes first offered you a reward on the black market, and then sent you out of the village. Speaking of which, Fugaku thought for a moment. This person not only has a lot of money, but also has a complete intelligence system. Chiba, have you offended anyone recently? Asked by Fugaku, Chiba shook his head. He has only offended third Kazekage, and there is no one else at all except the other party. If you need, I can send people from my clan to protect you secretly. Uchiha Fugaku spoke, his tone was sincere. Chiba looked at each other. Refused. Thank you. Root base. Danzo waited and waited for 3 days. He could never wait for Chiba's gold bars, so, he was in a hurry. He was going to go to the back mountain to remind him, lest the other party forget. Whoosh. Suddenly, a subordinate appeared. Master Danzo, the eagle lurking in the black market has sent back an urgent message. Oh? After receiving the tip, Danzo looked at the contents above. Next moment, his complexion changed drastically. Danzo couldn't believe it. Someone offered a reward of 50 million taels in the black market? And the target turned out to be Chiba? Where is Chiba? Reporting to Master Danzo, Chiba has just returned to the village. Hearing the subordinate's answer, Danzo breathed a sigh of relief. But immediately, he froze. Just returned to the village? Chiba actually ran out of the village again. It's good that nothing happened, he hasn't given me the gold bars yet. Muttering to himself, Danzo left the base and walked towards the Sarutobi family residence. Sarutobi family resident. When Danzo came to the station, he found Sarutobi Hiruzen painting in a gazebo. Hiruzen, you sent someone to do the bounty on Chiba in the black market. Thorn. Hearing Danzo's words, Hiruzen paused with the pen in his hand and drew a crack on the drawing paper. Sit down. Looking up at the other party, Hiruzen pointed to the opposite stone pier. The two sat opposite each other, and the atmosphere fell into silence. Eventually, Danzo couldn't take it anymore. Hiruzen, do you know that if our village continues to develop like this, within 10 years, the entire ninja world will be ruled by Konoha? The key to it all is Chiba. With gold-making ability, our unification of the ninja world is just around the corner. But you, why did you offer him a reward? After repeated questioning, Danzo was quite puzzled. What good would killing Chiba do for the village? Isn't this a broken arm? Under the gazebo. Sarutobi Hiruzen asked a question with deep eyes. Then tell me, when the time comes, will we rule the ninja world, or Chiba will rule the ninja world? Danzo. When asked by the other party, Danzo was silent. You know, now it's just us who know that Chiba can make gold. If other families find out about it in the future, how do you think each family will react? Staring at Danzo, Hiruzen spoke slowly. Danzo knows. He can completely guess the reactions of the various races. At that time, Chiba didn't have to do anything at all, and the major families would try their best to push him to the position of Hokage. Only in this way can all ethnic groups enter Chiba's camp, and thereby obtain a large amount of funds from Chiba to develop the strength of their respective families. It seems you understand. Hiruzen smiled. But then, Danzo shook his head. Then what if I join Chiba's camp too? Danzo really doesn't want to target Chiba. Because he is now making a deal with Chiba. Once they break up, he will lose a lot. In the field. Hiruzen sighed. You can't join, because you have my brand on you. Even if you want to join, all ethnic groups will not agree. Speaking of this, he spoke in a long tone. This is human nature, which cannot be changed. Until leaving the Sarutobi family residence, Danzo still had a heavy heart. He came to the back mountain. Master Danzo, I thought you didn't want any money? Chiba pointed to the wooden house, the meaning is obvious. By the way, he also asked the other party to find some water-style ninjas. After collecting the gold bars, Danzo stopped beside Chiba. Chiba, do we care about friends? Chiba froze. He didn't expect the other party to ask such a question. Master Danzo, if you regard me as a friend, then we are friends. Chiba's answer also stunned Danzo. Regard you as a friend? Just now he also reached a conspiracy with Hiruzen to eradicate Chiba. Danzo doesn't know if this counts as a friend. After all, if you stick a knife between your ribs, you are a friend. Danzo left. Chiba, is Master Danzo worried? At this time, Jingmei came over with a puzzled face. I don't know, maybe his uncle is here. Jingmei. Chiba ran into the farm in no time. Standing on the top of the hill, Chiba gazed at the village, lost in thought. I'm going to stay the same now. The mastermind behind the scenes will definitely attack again. I just need to catch the clues for the next time. Chiba believes that the person behind the scenes will not give up, and he just needs to wait. As long as he catches a clue once, the mastermind behind the scenes will be finished. Don't let me know who you are. Otherwise, Lousy will drown your whole family. Black market. The underground gold exchange once again ushered in a huge earthquake. Unprecedented, huge amount. And this time, the target is still Chiba. Konoha Village. Chiba. Bounty, 500 million taels. Ability. Manure control. Weaknesses. Fear of lightning style, illusion, and stealth assassination. Achievements. Kill Rasa. Defeat the Sand Shinobi frontline troops. Defeat 3rd Kazekage. Defeated by Kakuzu, use flight to escape. After Chiba's information was updated, the eyes of all the assassins gathered. 500 million taels. The price of the bounty has increased tenfold. This is no longer a cage-level price. Even the former Senju Hashirama was only 300 million taels, but Chiba's head was worth 500 million taels. What made the group of assassins even more horrified was that Chiba was actually defeated by Kakuzu. If the opponent hadn't mastered the ability to fly, he would have been beheaded by Kakuzu by now. As expected of a top assassin, Kakuzu's strength is too terrifying. This kind of order of 500 million, we simply cannot accept it. Where's Kakuzu-sama? Why isn't he here? Maybe heading here. A group of people are looking for Kakuzu. Coincidentally, they found it. At this moment, Kakuzu was followed by a dozen assassins, walking towards the gold exchange with invincible steps. Worry. Lousy is looking for a few villagers to collect dung. Why are there so many colleagues? Kakuzu's heart was flustered, panicked. He only has one heart now, and he can't stand the beatings of so many colleagues. Therefore, he had no choice but to bite the bullet. Tread. The moment he stepped into the gold exchange, all the assassins looked at him in awe. As expected of Master Kakuzu, this aura is invincible at first glance. Aren't you talking nonsense? Kakuzu-sama defeated Chiba before. If I can follow Kakuzu-sama, I can drink some soup. That's right. We can help Kakuzu-sama sweep the formation. Less points are fine. Everyone's eyes lit up. Likewise, Kakuzu's eyes. It's on too. Kakuzu never expected that these colleagues would come together. This is simply a godsend. Inside the money exchange, Kakuzu looked indifferent and swept the surrounding assassins. Tell me about the ninjutsu attributes you are good at. Opening his mouth lightly, Kakuzu was extremely proud. It seems that in his eyes, these people are a bunch of rubbish, not worthy of being with him. Soon, many people gathered together. They want a piece of the pie, a sip of the soup. After all, 500 million is too tempting, few people can resist this temptation. Finally, Kakuzu picked 5 suitable counterparts. 5 attributes, just collected. Now the heart has fallen. Silently applauding his wit, Kakuzu is ready to deliver. He gave these 5 people to Chiba, and kept his heart for himself. Isn't it too much? Master Kakuzu. This is an extra gift from my employer. The receptionist smiled and pushed out a piece of information. Kakuzu nodded indifferently, picked up the shaft, and slowly opened it. Around him, dozens of pairs of eyes glanced over, wanting to see what kind of news the employer sent extra. He opened it. Result. The people around were blown away. It turned out to be the exact location and time of the ambush? Worry. Doesn't this mean that you can ambush in advance? If I arrange thousands of detonating symbols in advance, I can do it by myself. I missed 500 million. A group of people were all dumbfounded and regretted endlessly. In this information, it explained in detail where Chiba will appear and the approximate time of appearance. More importantly, the time mentioned above is half a day away from now. What does that mean? It means that they have enough time to arrange a large number of traps in advance. In this way, anyone can complete this task. Many people's intestines are regretful. Once, 500 million was placed in front of them, but they didn't cherish it. The 5 members of the Kakuzu team were ecstatic, feeling that the wave was stable. However, Zhao's heart sank to the bottom. Master Kakuzu, now that the task has been received, let's talk about how to distribute the bounty first. Someone in the team spoke, impatiently. After all, even without Kakuzu, the 5 of them could have done the job just as well. But with Kakuzu here, and his strength is there, he will definitely take the big head away, and it is impossible to share with them equally. At this moment, how can Kakuzu have the mood to care about the bonus? He was thinking that Chiba still didn't give him 800 gold bars. If the other party hangs up, wouldn't he lose all his pants? You can do whatever you want. Waving his hand, Kakuzu was absent-minded. Now, not only the 5 teammates were excited, but even the people around gave Kakuzu a thumbs up. As expected of Master Kakuzu, this kind of unchallenging assassination is completely uninteresting. I can do it as well. It's normal that Kakuzu is not interested. Unfortunately, I missed 500 million. Master Kakuzu is here. Do you dare to grab this order? He ignored everyone's arguments. Kakuzu left with his teammates indifferently. Teammates have to arrange a large number of detonators in advance. As the soul of the team, it is impossible for him to leave the team. Chiba, don't get killed. Thinking silently in his heart, Kakuzu remained aloof. Finally, the ambush has arrived. It's just that this place is really a bit smelly. This is a semicircular dung mountain about 10 meters high, exuding a disgusting smell of oli. Is this the ambush site? A heap of dung? I get it. That Chiba controls shit and can't resist coming. Yeah. Then bury the detonator in the dung pile. It has to be said that the minds of these 5 people are still very smart, and they know how to use the cover of the dung pile to bury the detonating talisman. Soon, 5 people started to act. Only Kakuzu looked cold. At the same time, his heart felt cold. Konoha Hushan. Chiba crouched by the pit surrounded by members of the Aburame clan. He's not squatting. Instead, watch the bugs. How? The insects of our Aburame family can accurately find every animal through scent. You entrust the task of collecting animals to our family, and we will handle it properly for you. The Aburame patriarch wore big sunglasses and patted his chest for assurance. Since all the wild boars near the village had been caught, Chiba had to turn his attention to other animals. And the Aburame patriarch intends to look at this picture in its entirety. Okay. The livestock replenishment on the farm will be handed over to your family. After speaking, Chiba gestured to the wooden house. There is a deposit in the room, you can grab as much as you can. A deal was struck and Chiba left. Along the way, he glanced back. As a result, he found that the members of the Aburame family were running around at the door of the wooden house like crazy. I have never seen the world. With a sigh, Chiba is ready to eat. After all, he has a good relationship with the owner of the barbecue restaurant, and he believes that the other party will welcome him. Walking on the street, Chiba found a very strange thing. Many people were whispering, and in their words, they even mentioned feces. This made Chiba immediately interested. Have you heard? 20 miles outside the village, there is a dung mountain. Of course I've heard of it, but this dung mountain seems to have appeared all of a sudden. I heard some ninjas say that the dung mountain looks weird, don't go near it. Who's out of his mind to get closer to? Are you not afraid of being smoked to death? Listening to these people's discussion, Chiba became suspicious. Dung mountain? 20 miles outside the village? He felt that this seemed to be a trap against oneself. Otherwise, how could it be such a coincidence? In the last attack, the mastermind behind the scenes did not prepare a mountain of dung, but this time, the opponent obviously spent a lot of money. Lousy won't go. Let's see what you do. Chiba smiled, full of confidence. But immediately, he wavered again. If I don't go, won't the clues be broken? In this case, I can only remain passive. Only by attacking can we find clues. Having made up his mind, Tien Yi is ready to take the initiative. Chiba slipped out of the village again. In order to find out who was behind the scenes, he plucked up the courage and prepared to investigate. Leaving out of the village, he imitates directly out of the sandpad. Launch into the sky, at a height of 1,000 meters. The sandpad carried him high into the air, becoming a black spot. This is how you feel safe. With a sense of security in his heart, Chiba continued to activate his imitation ability. Big Dung brand supercilious. Suddenly, Ollie's eyes appeared. So far, Chiba has completed the transformation of the detection mode. Let's go. Leaning down to scan the ground, Chiba began to scout. Now, his eyes are like a pair of high-precision radars, constantly scanning the ground. Soon, a pair of heaps appeared in Chiba's sight. Not just a dunghill. He also saw a large number of detonating symbols buried in the dunghill, and 7 people hidden. There's one in the dunghill, 6 out there. Huh? One of them is Kakuzu? The one in the dung pile looks familiar too? For the appearance of Kakuzu, Chiba is not surprised. He is surprised that the person in the holy pile. At the same time, the assassination team hidden around the dung pile also found the figure high in the sky. It's just that they're a little bit blind. He's in the sky, what's the matter? I really didn't expect that he went directly to heaven. If he doesn't fall down, won't we have to return without success? The height is too high. There is no way. The 5 assassins communicated together, but there was nothing they could do. This is what makes flying ninja special. People can't come down from the sky. If you don't have special abilities, you can only watch. In desperation, several people looked at Kakuzu. Master Kakuzu, is there anything you can do? Several people looked hopeful, hoping that the other party could find a way. At this moment, Kakuzu looked indifferent, looking up at the sky. About there. When he opened his mouth lightly, he exuded an invincible aura all over his body. Hearing Kakuzu's words, several people were overjoyed. Although they didn't know the specific meaning of each other's words, it was obvious that Kakuzu had a way. Next moment. Puff puff. Without warning, the 5 assassins all passed out. They felt that the chrysanthemum was uncontrollable at all, it was opened vigorously, and the feces in the body rushed out, and they couldn't stop the car at all. What happened? I'm running away. I'm so powerless. Kakuzu said it's almost the same, is it that we are about to lose weight? I feel insulted. Baha. 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 5 people fell to the ground one after another, all of them were exhausted. They still don't understand that Kakuzu is trying to cheat his teammates. Sure enough, we have a tacit understanding. With joy in his heart, Kakuzu bent down and looked at the few people on the ground. I will accept your heart. Puff. The palm pierced a person's chest, and immediately, his hand grabbed the other person's heart. Tread. When Chiba fell to the ground, Kakuzu had already collected and was sewing the body together. Chiba. How is my delivery? Leaning over to Chiba, Kakuzu intends to claim credit. However, Chiba didn't pay attention to him, but waved at the dung pile. ZZ. I saw that the dung pile began to squirm, as if it had life. As long as it is feces, Chiba can be easily manipulated. After just one breath, a figure was thrown out by the dung pile. Anyone else? Kakuzu was startled when he saw the figure being thrown in front of him. He has never discovered that there is still a person hidden in the dung pile? Plop. The figure landed on the ground, covered in big classes. However, this person did not die. It seems that it was sealed in the dunghill before. Oh, it's you. Looking at the man, Chiba recognized it. Baki. He never imagined that this person who once covered himself with a blanket would appear in the pile. Shouldn't the other party be in San Shinobi Village? Now. Baki's uncomfortable bash, because his whole body was sealed. Since he was sent by 3rd Kazekage to deliver scrolls to Konoha, he was put under house arrest by Hokage. After that, his whole body was sealed, and he was even thrown into the dung heap. Now, he has worn off more than half of the seal, and he will soon be able to completely undo the seal on his body. In the field, facing Chiba, Baki couldn't speak at all. His seal has not been lifted, so he can only blink continuously. It seems that you are also an abandoned child, and the real person behind the scenes is 3rd Kazekage. Chiba spoke softly. Now, Chiba has determined that the person behind the scenes is 3rd Kazekage, so he is going to take revenge. To condense the dung pile into a dung ball, Chiba performs several compressions. As for the detonating talisman, it has already been crushed. Whoosh. Jumping onto the sandpad, Chiba flew directly southwest. He is going to San Shinobi Village, to teach 3rd Kazekage a lesson he will never forget. Huh? My gold bars, Kakuzu yelled a reminder. Unfortunately, Chiba has flown away. Click. Just then, Baki broke free from the seal. Wrong. Wrong. It's Hokage who wants to kill you. Baki was in a hurry and kept yelling, but he called out loneliness. Because there are only him and Kakuzu in the field. Oh. You said it was 3rd Hokage who wanted to kill Chiba? Kakuzu became interested and looked over. He didn't intend to kill the person in front of him, because he knew that the person had something to do with Chiba. Otherwise, how could Chiba let this person go? I'm going to tell him the truth. Baki walked away, ready to rush to San Shinobi Village. But at this moment, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Suddenly, several Anbu appeared. As soon as he appeared, Anbu attacked Baki straight. Murder and silence. Kakuzu smiled coldly, and dense black silk threads shot out from his body instantly. In just a few breaths, several Anbu became cold corpses. So strong, Baki was shocked. What's rustling? This is someone approaching, and there are a lot of them. Kakuzu heard it. Baki didn't hear it. As Chiba's partner, let me go with you. Kakuzu Haki spoke. Immediately, he picked up Baki, who was still in a daze, and galloped all the way to the southwest. When a group of assassins arrived here, they only saw Kakuzu carrying a person and disappearing to the southwest. Sarutobi family resident. Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo sat facing each other. Between the two, a chessboard crisscrossed. Danzo, why are you hesitating and refusing to make a move? Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled and spoke lightly, but Danzo on the opposite side was silent, looking absent-minded. Danzo is waiting. Sarutobi Hiruzen is also waiting. They are waiting for news from Anbu. The difference is that the two have different moods. Hiruzen, aren't you afraid to miss again? Danzo finally spoke, his tone heavy. Just now, Danzo's eyelids have been twitching. It made him feel bad. Hee, don't worry. Chiba will definitely die this time. With a confident smile on his face, Sarutobi Hiruzen spoke affirmatively. For the 043 wave of assassinations, he had arranged 3 lines of defense, enough to be foolproof. First, a mighty assassin from the black market, Kakuzu. Second, Sand Shinobi Baki sealed in feces. Third, after the assassin Kakuzu and Chiba were both injured, Anbu behind him made up the knife and wiped out. Even if Chiba wins in the end, Baki will be able to divert the opponent's attention to Sand Shinobi. This chain plan was arranged by Sarutobi Hiruzen after hard thinking. He believed that this time, Chiba could not escape. So what if you can fly? If you want to collect dung, you will definitely fall to the ground. A smile crossed the corner of his mouth, and Sarutobi Hiruzen felt happy. Boom. 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 Suddenly, a shadowy figure hurried over. Look, good news is coming. Hiruzen smiled. Danzo also turned his head to look. Master Hokage, failed. As soon as he got close, Anbu said directly, next moment. Boom. The board was directly smashed by Hiruzen. How did it fail? Didn't that Kakuzu almost kill Chiba last time? Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't understand. His arrangement was so perfect, yet it failed again? Hey, Hiruzen, take care of yourself. Danzo sighed, turned and left. He wanted to go back to his family, so he hurriedly withdrew his family members. After all, he fears Chiba's cesspit revenge. Back to the family. Danzo immediately ordered the tribe to evacuate. All the clansmen, retreat to the root base. With one order, Danzo evacuated. He can't control Sarutobi Hiruzen, but he has to keep his own people. Chiba's cesspit can flood the entire front line of Sand Shinobi. My family's garrison can be turned into a cesspit in minutes. Danzo knows Chiba well. He felt that the other party was a werewolf who had revenge. Once this kind of person offends, he must be crushed to death. If you don't die, you will splash your own shit. In the land of fire, Chiba flies ahead. Kakuzu took Baki and chased after him. We can't seem to catch up with him. Baki looked anxiously at Kakuzu. Result. Kakuzu just threw Baki to the ground. I'm carrying you, how can I catch up with you? Looking at the other party indifferently, Tong couldn't bear the smell on his body. He didn't intend to go after Chiba. If he hadn't noticed that many people were approaching, he would have brought a few heads of his teammates to exchange for bounties. Now, he didn't even catch a hair. Fortunately, he cleverly made up 5 hearts, otherwise he would have lost only his underpants in this wave. Go yourself. Leaving this sentence, everyone escaped. If the task failed, he had to return to the gold exchange to submit the result. Underground exchange. When Kakuzu returned to the gold exchange, he was surprised to find that a group of assassins looked at him in awe again. What a pity. I saw Master Kakuzu chasing Chiba with my own eyes, and now it seems that he was run away by the other party. I saw it too, that Chiba couldn't beat Kakuzu and just flew away, what a piece of crap. The one who was chased didn't even dare to go back to the village, that Chiba actually ran towards the land of the wind. Hey, it's a pity that 500 million. The assassins around talked about it, and they all shouted that it was a pity. Here. Kakuzu immediately swelled. At this moment, even he himself believed it. Just a Chiba. Run away when you see yourself. Master Kakuzu. What a pity. The receptionist was still smiling and his tone was full of regret. Forget it. I don't accept missions recently, I'm not in the mood. Leaving these words indifferently, Kakuzu walked away with invincible steps. It seems that Kakuzu is going to study a way to restrain flying. It must be so. I hope next time, he can find a way to win in one fell swoop. By the way, how will the money for the 5 heads be divided? Until Kakuzu left, a group of people were still discussing. After all, they picked up the heads of 5 assassins and were discussing how to divide the money. Walking out of the gold exchange, Tongdu let out a long breath. He's ready to collect manure. Once I've got enough shit, I'll go to Chiba for gold bars. Fly all the way southwest. Chiba soon entered the land of the wind. He flew in a straight line, bypassing the country of Chuan, and headed straight for Sand Shinobi village. Third cage. You wait for lousy. Filled with anger, Chiba wanted revenge. He considers himself a good man. Be kind, humble and sincere. However, there are always people who want to kill themselves inexplicably. For his own safety and to live a carefree life, Chiba decided to take revenge on Sand Shinobi village. I don't want to fight at all, it's all forced by third cage. Gritting his teeth, the anger in Chiba's heart became more and more intense. Half a day later, Chiba saw it. He saw the familiar earthen wall and Sand Shinobi village. Whoosh. Flying over Sand Shinobi village on a sand mat, Chiba did it directly. Imitation ability activated, Tengai Shinsei. Boom. Accompanied by a dull bang, the sky suddenly darkened. Next moment, a giant dung ball with a diameter of more than 1 kilometer appeared under the clouds and fell straight towards Sand Shinobi Village. It suddenly darkened. This caught the attention of everyone in Sand Shinobi Village. Ever since, the people in the village looked up at the sky one by one, wanting to see what was going on. Seeing this, they were dumbfounded. I saw that a giant sphere fell from the sky and was falling towards the village. What did I see? A meteorite. It's not a meteorite, it's dung, run. Is it still possible to escape now? It's too late. It's over. People are crazy. Some people fled around, trying to escape from the village. Some people were stunned and slumped on the ground. At this time, Third Cage appears. He knew that this was not a meteorite at all, but Chiba's feces. Do you want to kill them all? With an unconcealable anger in his eyes, Third Cage moved. A large amount of black sand and iron appeared around him. Subsequently, sand and iron were continuously poured into the ground. Next moment, magnet style, sand iron wall. Boom. The black sand iron engulfed countless sands, turned into black sand pillars, and rose from the ground. After a while, a gigantic black barrier unfolded, covering the entire village. People cheered. With this barrier, they are much safer. This is Kazekage-sama's ability. We are saved. At the critical moment, it has to be Kazekage-sama. There are still people marching, wanting Master Fengying to step down. Let's see if they are still going. Praise Kazekage-sama. People are no longer afraid and start to praise Kazekage. Although, Third Cage suffered a defeat and was called out by many people. But now, they found that Third Cage is still reliable. Boom. Suddenly, there was a violent impact on the barrier. People all looked up. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with the barrier, it's really safe now. As expected of Third Cage-sama, long live Kazekage-sama. Kazekage, I love you. A large number of villagers cheered, excited and joyful. They have the shadow of the wind and are not afraid of any danger. Only, suddenly, the cheering stopped. They saw countless feces pouring down the edges of the barrier. Sand Shinobi Village was originally located in a pothole area, surrounded by earth walls. Ever since, the turbulent dung sea rushed in from the entrance of the village. Ah! The excrement has washed into the village, everyone run. Someone yelled loudly and started running towards the Fengying building. After all, the tallest building in the entire village is the Fengying building. If he could stand on the top of the building, he might be able to escape help. At the critical moment, Third Cage stood up again. His hands formed seals, and the black sand and iron poured into the ground again. Magnet style, sand iron flow wall. In an instant, a thick wall of sand emerged from the ground. Boom. The rushing dung sea was blocked by a sand wall, changing the direction of the flow. After one breath, the dung sea split into two streams and came around from both sides of the sand wall. Third Cage. In this case, he can only sell the block. As a result, the dung sea changed from 2 strands to 4 strands. This time, Fengying's head grew bigger. If he continues to block it, he won't be able to block it at all. Not long. Sand Shinobi Village turned into a sea of dung, emitting a foul smell. The feces several meters deep completely submerged the village. Only the top of the Fengying building was exposed, and it was crowded with people. In the sea of dung, a large number of people floated in it, swimming around in the sea of dung. Soon, many people swam around the Fengying building. Quick! Pull me up quickly. Pull me first. I'm a woman. Go away. Lousy came first. Go in you. Ah. A group of people began to scramble to get to the top of the building, and some even directly pushed each other into the dung sea. Eventually, the woman was pulled up. Only. As the woman climbed to the top, the dung ideas on her body also splashed all over the people on the roof. Here. Crowd frying pan. Plop plop fell into the dung sea, many people. Outside the village, Third Cage is furious and is confronting Chiba. Why? Are you really going to kill them all? Staring at Chiba, Third Cage screamed hoarsely. Although he was defeated on the front line, he did not continue to target Qian too. Now, the other party actually flooded his village directly? Facing Cage's questioning, Chiba became even angrier. You still have the face to say it. The black market offered me a reward, and sent people to attack and kill me twice. You didn't even mention it? What? I offer you a reward. Third Cage was dumbfounded. When did he offer a reward to the other party? Still sending people to attack and kill. Don't talk nonsense. I didn't offer you a reward at all. I didn't send anyone to attack and kill you. Fart. Lousy has seen your subordinates, and you still say it's not you? With his hands on his hips, Tian Yi cursed loudly. In terms of swearing, he hasn't convinced anyone yet. Feng Ying was silent. Chiba felt that himself had won. Suddenly, third cage came over. Chiba's instant activation ability. Reincarnation of grains. Get down for lousy. Puff. Feng Ying was surprised, and fell to the ground unwillingly. You misunderstood. I just want to ask, where is that subordinate? Lying on the ground, cage did not forget to speak. How would I know? Chiba retorted, but the next moment. Chiba froze. He saw Baki, who was covered in a lot of shit, running wildly here. At this time, the feces on Baki's body had been air-dried, and his hair was all branched into clumps. But he didn't care about cleaning up at all, and ran back to the vicinity of Sand Shinobi village desperately. Chiba. Cage-sama. Baki saw the two, his face was ecstatic. Although Cage's posture was a bit wrong, he couldn't care less about it. He rushed over. At this time, Baki was extremely weak. He spent a lot of energy breaking the seal before, and traveled a long distance without resting at all. Now, he is only supported by his stubborn will. Running in front of Chiba, Baki was already crumbling. Chiba. It's Hokage. Hokage is going to kill you. Plop. Saying this, Baki fainted. Chiba froze. He never thought that the other party came here and said such a sentence. Sure enough, Hokage did it. At this moment, third cage spoke quietly. As the shadow of a village, third cage has an incomparably thorough understanding of human nature. Although the time for him to think is very short, he has already confirmed the identity of the mastermind in his heart. You think Hokage did it too? Turning his head to look at the other party, Chiba looks suspicious. It shouldn't be. He and Hokage have never had a fight. Why would the other party want to kill him? Hee. It seems that you are in the fog, and can't see the road ahead clearly. With a sigh, Cage stretched out his arm. Pull me up. Chiba complied. Because he needs the other party to answer his doubts. After patting the sand on his body, Feng Ying was about to sit down. After all, his limbs are weak, and standing still is a problem. Do not move, Chiba yelled. After speaking, he waved his hand. Puff. Suddenly, a big hole was poked out of Feng Ying's trouser pocket, and Ali floated out. Your ability is really disgusting. Seeing this scene at third cage sighed again. This is the first time he encountered this ability in the past 10 years in the ninja world. For this disgusting effect alone, Chiba definitely ranks third. After Cage complained, Chiba glanced at him. I, fat tiger, suspect that you are discriminating against me. This is not discrimination, but emotion. Feng Ying shook his head and sat on the ground. At this moment, his complexion became serious. Actually, ever since you killed Luo Sha and left with the sandpad, I knew that you would definitely be feared by Hokage. You might even be cleared by him. As soon as he opened his mouth, Feng Ying said something amazing. Chiba doesn't understand. You don't know, but I know very well that you have the ability of Luo Sha and can make gold. This is the main reason why you brought the disaster of killing yourself. Speaking of which, Cage looked at Chiba's reaction. At this moment, Chiba is still suspicious. You must be thinking, since I'm the first to know that you can make gold, why shouldn't I put a bounty on you? Because I have no money. Spread your hands, the scenery truthfully tells the reason. You don't have any money? You Feng Ying will have no money? If I had money, I wouldn't have sent my men to plunder the Vortex country, and you would have destroyed it in the end. At this point, Chiba thought about it. Feng Ying continued to speak. If you hide your ability to make gold, then you will be fine. Obviously, you exposed this ability. Sarutobi Hiruzen was a good ninja before taking the position of Hokage. Unfortunately, he was controlled by power, and you are the biggest obstacle preventing him from continuing to be in power. Obstacle. Chiba couldn't figure it out. Why should I be his hindrance? I once gave him a roomful of gold bars. Haha, no wonder he has money to offer you a reward. Feng Ying smiled, with a mocking tone. Do you know that your ability to make gold can affect the development of the entire village? With this ability, you are destined to be the fourth Hokage. Even if you don't want to be, the family in your village will push you up. What do you think third Hokage thinks of you now? After repeated questions, Chiba was dumbfounded. He is not an idiot. Before, he just gave the Aburame family half a house of gold bars, and the Aburame family went crazy. Moreover, he also thought of other things. Fujiki's reminder, Danzo's reminder and Uchiha Fugaku's words. Even, there is the Orochimaru team monitoring himself in the village. Then, Chiba brought the man behind the scenes to Hokage, and he found that everything fit perfectly. In the field, Cage swept across the unconscious Baki, spit out a bigger message. Baki is my emissary to Konoha village. It seems that he has been imprisoned by Hokage and has become a tool to frame my sand shinobi. Also, if you go back to the village, you will definitely be ambushed by Sarutobi Hiruzen. Speaking of this, Feng Ying stopped talking. Chiba was silent for a long time. From the beginning of self-thinking, he turned to analyze the matter from the third perspective. As a result, he targeted Sarutobi Hiruzen directly. It turns out that I was really in the fog without knowing it. Mumbling to himself, Chiba knew that he was impulsive. He was misled, and the first time he saw Baki, he was dizzy. Thinking about it now, if Baki really participated, how could he be in the pile? It was obvious that someone had sealed him inside, waiting for him to hunt for treasure. Taking a long breath, Chiba looked at Third Cage. He felt a little guilty. Ashamed of being impulsive and flooding the entire Sand Shinobi village. The opposite of. Third Cage now looks proud and indifferent. It seems that he is the strong one and Chiba is the weak one. Forget it. Who called him a victim? Not paying attention to Cage's expression, Chiba is going to show it off. Let me help you go back to the village. Back to the village? Are you going to help me into the cesspit? Chiba. After thinking about it, Chiba felt that what the other party said was quite right. Besides, I don't need your help, my subordinates have come down. After finishing speaking, Feng Ying looked into the distance. Chiba also followed the other's gaze. I saw. A red-haired boy came running from a distance. Are you in such a tight situation now? Are you using the children as subordinates? Chiba was surprised. In fact, he saw that boy was too young. What do you know? This is my new talent, Scorpion. He has a very high puppet talent. Feng Ying was full of pride, as if he valued this boy very much. Oh? Chiba didn't react at first, but when he heard the name, Scorpion, Chiba almost called out. He looked at the collapsed Third Cage, and then at the running Scorpion. Chiba always felt that if he didn't do something, Third Cage would be gone. The red-haired boy was getting closer and closer, and he could already see his face clearly. You can go now. At this time, Third Cage looked at Chiba, and it was obvious that he wanted to chase him away. Are you sure you want me to go? Aren't you leaving? Scorpion's parents were drowned by you with feces. Chiba. He drowned Scorpion's parents? He really doesn't know. Boom, Chiba flashed. It's just that when he left, he threw out a room in place. Bark. Third Cage was dumbfounded. He never imagined that Chiba's body flicker technique still has this effect. Wiping his face, Feng Ying resisted the feeling of vomiting, waiting for the arrival of Xie. Tat. The young Scorpion came before him with a look of surprise. Master Feng Ying. While 27 was speaking, Xie hurriedly stepped forward to help. How is the village now? There are very few drowned, and they are being salvaged on the earthwall. Nodding his head, Feng Ying stood up with the support of the other party. However, his footsteps are very vain. If he leaves the support, he will fall down immediately. Master Cage. Are you injured? With worry on his face, Xie's voice was full of sincerity. He found that Feng Ying was very weak, and even a gust of wind could blow it down. Feng Ying was quite pleased to be cared for so sincerely by the young man. I'll just be weak for a while, that's all right. After finishing speaking, Feng Ying suddenly froze. With a strong disbelief on his face, he looked at the young man beside him. You poisoned? Hee, you just found out now, it's already too late. At this moment, Scorpion's voice changed completely. His expression was ferocious and crazy, and his tone contained strong hatred. You are so cowardly. That Chiba is right in front of your eyes, and you let him go. Are you qualified to be called Feng Ying? You are so incompetent, what's the point of living? Pushing Feng Ying away, Xie yelled angrily, plop. Falling to the ground, Feng Ying's heart sank to the bottom of the valley. He never imagined that Scorpio's mentality was so extreme. Had he known this, he shouldn't have driven Chiba away. Now, he was doomed, because he felt that the toxin had spread to the whole body. At this time, a figure appeared. I seem to be lost? Chiba walked over with strides, smiling all over his face. You? Chiba. Scorpion was shocked. He didn't expect the other party to come back. Third Cage weakly called out Chiba's name. Next moment, Chiba snapped his fingers. Puff. Without warning, the Scorpion fled. He became like Feng Ying. He threw his trouser pockets and fell to the ground. What ability is this? Lying on the ground, Dai was terrified. Not only did he have diarrhea, but he also found that his limbs were sore and weak, and he couldn't lift any strength. However, no one paid him any attention. At this moment, Chiba was already standing in front of Cage. Ability activation, reincarnation of grains. In an instant, A large amount of black oil stains appeared on Feng Ying's body surface, which was mixed with toxins. This time, Feng Ying couldn't even speak. He felt his body was completely hollowed out. This is more tiring than fighting with the flower on the well for 10 days and 10 nights. Since you can't speak, let me speak. Staring into Cage's eyes, Chiba spoke. I flooded Sand Shinobi Village, and now I've saved you, so we're even. After finishing speaking, Chiba picked up Cage, picked up Scorpion, and galloped away towards the distance. Early the next morning, Feng Ying sat up abruptly. Is this a log cabin? Sweeping across the house, he saw the desert outside, and then at the unconscious Scorpion lying beside him. Unexpectedly, Chiba still mastered wood style. In an instant, he guessed the origin of the trapped house. Originally, Third Cage thought that he had overestimated the opponent, but now it seems that Chiba is far more terrifying than that. Tread. At this time, Chiba came in with a smile on his face. In his hand was a wooden stick with roasted bird meat skewered on it. Come on. I just baked it, eat it while it's hot. Chiba was quite enthusiastic when he handed over the roasted bird. Thanks. This time, Cage is sincerely grateful. Swallowing it in big mouthfuls, Feng Ying felt that it was extremely delicious. I have to say that the grilled meat of this bird is delicious, especially the meat of this bird is even more firm. Where did you get it? It tastes good. Oh, 2 ninja hawks flew over just now, so I just caught them. Chiba replied calmly. Here. Feng Ying was stunned. He looked at Chiba, then at the half-body bird, feeling confused. After eating the barbecue, Cage recovered a lot of strength. Since you're fine, I'm leaving. I'm going back too, and I'm going to move the village. Chiba is about to leave. After all, he has to go back to the village to settle accounts with Sarutobi Hiruzen. Feng Ying is leaving too, he has to go back and move the village. That's right. What are you going to do with this Scorpion? Walking to the door, Chiba asked casually. Forget it, let him fend for himself. After waving his hands, Cage walked out of the room. 3 minutes later, Cage turned around, but there was no trace of Chiba in sight. His eyes narrowed. Then, he walked back towards the wooden house just now. In front of Chiba just now, in order to show his tolerance, he did not kill Scorpio. But that doesn't mean he doesn't want to kill. Chiba is gone, then I can kill the traitor Scorpion. The pace quickened a little. Feng Ying was about to deal with the Scorpion. Dare to kill yourself? I really want to die. Soon. Cage appeared at the door of the wooden house. But when he looked towards the wooden house, Feng Ying was dumbfounded. Puff. 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 I saw that in the wooden house at this time. Chiba's hand was spraying Ollie wildly, slashing at the Scorpion. In an instant, the Scorpion was chopped into more than a dozen pieces. As if aware of the movement, Chiba turned to look at the door. Ever since Chiba saw Third Cage, the two looked at each other. Ahem. Are you lost too? Konoha village. After learning that the second attack failed, Danzo began to transfer the tribe and important information. After doing all this, he rushed to the Sarutobi family without stopping. Tread. When he came to the residence of the Sarutobi family, Danzo couldn't understand. Hiruzen. What are you doing? Looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen still sitting in the gazebo, Danzo was full of question marks. Is the evacuation over? Looking up at the other party, Sarutobi Hiruzen spoke calmly. Danzo sat down, waiting for the other party's explanation. Don't worry, I have a plan for Halloween. As if sensing Danzo's anxiety, Sarutobi Hiruzen spat out the words. Safeguard. Danzo sneered. You said that the 2 raids and killings were a perfect strategy, but they all failed. This time I will do it myself. Sarutobi Hiruzen's expression became serious and his tone was solemn. Danzo doesn't believe it. It's not that he doesn't believe that Hiruzen made a move, but he doesn't believe that Chiba can be killed. Then let me ask you, Chiba has the ability to make people loose, how do you break it? I cut a hole in my trousers. Hearing Hiruzen's answer, Danzo was dumbfounded. Holes in pants? Crotch pants? But is this useful? Do you think you can stop loose stools in crotch pants? I didn't have lunch. Danzo. To be honest, Danzo didn't even know what to say. If Chiba's ability can be deciphered so easily, he wouldn't believe it even if he was killed. Hiruzen, you can't be fooled by Yan Hokage, are you? Think about it. Third Cage rushed to the front. Did he eat? But he still has diarrhea. After opening his mouth again and again, Danzo wondered if Hiruzen's brain was broken. Being mocked by Danzo, Sarutobi Hiruzen was not offended. He opened his mouth slowly and spit out 2 words. Illusion. Here. Danzo froze. After thinking for a moment, Danzo nodded. Anything else? 100,000 detonating symbols. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes flashed, revealing the second method. 100,000 detonators. This amount is enough to kill Chiba hundreds of times. Only. When Danzo heard the number, he was shocked. Detonate 100,000 detonating charms in the village? Is that village still there? How can this be blowing up Chiba? This is going to blow up the whole village. The village is gone. No, I will arrange it outside the village and wait for him outside the village. That is not bad. Danzo breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, it was not in the village, otherwise, it would be a big trouble. Then how many people do you want to bring? Just me. What? Yourself? Are you crazy? Hearing that Hiruzen was going alone, Danzo almost jumped up. As Hokage, you actually went alone? I have my own considerations. To deal with Chiba, there should not be too many people. Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head with a firm tone. It's just that Danzo doesn't agree. Why? If you don't explain clearly, I will send General Mo to go with you. Pressed by the opponent, Sarutobi Hiruzen laughed. He found that he was a dignified Hokage, but only Danzo could trust him in the end. The ability of Chiba to make gold is known to the Aburame clan, and also to the Hyuga clan, and even to the Uchiha clan. Also, I suspect that these three families have been revealed to other families. Sarutobi Hiruzen said the reason with an extremely deep tone. Danzo got it. No wonder, Hiruzen had to go alone. If you bring your subordinates, there is no guarantee that the news will not be leaked to the various clans. In this case, once a clan sends news to Chiba, it will be defeated. Make gold. This is an irresistible temptation for all families. The fact that Sarutobi Hiruzen is going to get rid of Chiba alone shows how valuable Chiba is. As long as Sarutobi Hiruzen can kill Chiba, then Konoha village will still be Konoha village, Sarutobi Hiruzen will still be Hokage, and the major families will still support Sarutobi Hiruzen. It seems you understand. Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at Danzo and stood up. He peeled off the Hokage costume, revealing a ninja battlesuit. Your pants. Danzo hesitated to speak. He saw the other party's pants, and there was an answer in the middle? I can't come back with a bag of dung in my trousers, can I? Sarutobi Hiruzen's tone was relaxed, as if he determined that this battle must be won. Danzo still looked worried. He was worried that Hiruzen would be a corpse when he came back. At that time, others saw the corpse wearing crotch pants. Step. 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 Walking in front of Danzo, Sarutobi Hiruzen patted Danzo on the shoulder and gave him a reassuring look. Remember, I am the strongest Hokage of all time. Saying this, Sarutobi Hiruzen showed an invincible aura. Danzo remained silent. He looked at the back of the other party and wanted to remind him, but the other party had already walked away. Hey, back then, Third Kazekage probably said the same thing. In the land of winds, good in the sky. Chiba stepped on the sand mat and was heading back to the land of fire. Although he was sure that Third Hokage was behind the scenes, Chiba still wanted to hear the other party tell him. He was still harboring one last bit of fantasy. What if it's not Third Hokage? What if someone is deliberately guiding it? Therefore, he has to ask in person. If it was really Sarutobi Hiruzen who did it, Chiba wouldn't mind drowning his entire clan in worship. I'm still too kind. Carefully, modestly and discreetly. This is the true portrayal of Chiba after entering the land of fire. Prudence is a virtue. Opening the dung eyes to scan the ground, Chiba dared not be careless and flew all the way on the sandpad. He didn't believe that Sarutobi Hiruzen would not do anything to him again, so he turned on the reconnaissance mode. After flying most of the distance, Rilu was safe and sound. Until, he was still 50 miles away from the village. Chiba stared blankly. Worry, your uncle. On the ground, detonating symbols were densely packed, and even the surrounding woods were covered. In the most central position, Sarutobi Hiruzen stands with his hands behind his back, looking up into the sky with his head raised. If I didn't open the dung eye, I would just fall down like this. Chiba couldn't imagine. In his dung eyes, it was clearly seen that Sarutobi Hiruzen did not cast transformation technique. Moreover, there is only the other party around. In addition, there are only a large number of detonating symbols. Originally, Chiba wanted to ask about it himself, but now, he just wants to kill Sarutobi Hiruzen with his own hands. The sandpad descends towards the ground. Finally come. On the ground, a smile flickered across the corner of Sarutobi Hiruzen's mouth. He stared at the falling sandpad, measuring the distance between the two sides. 800 meters, 600, 500, this distance is red enough. Suddenly, Sarutobi Hiruzen narrowed his eyes slightly, forming a mark. Summoning technique. Boom. Suddenly, the smoke rose, and the ape demon was summoned out. Ape demon, transform. As Hiruzen's voice fell, the ape demon instantly transformed into a stick. Rise. Boom. The ape demon stick in his hand suddenly exploded and flew towards the air at an extremely fast speed. The ape demon is in a transformation state, just get close to Chiba and you can catch him. With this thought flashing through his mind, Sarutobi Hiruzen stared at the figure in midair. He doesn't believe that Chiba can make the ape demon loose, because the ape demon is now in the state of a stick. As long as the opponent is caught by the ape demon, he can be torn off. At that time, waiting for Chiba will be 100,000 detonation talismans. This is his tactic. As for the so-called illusion, that was his second set of tactics. Midair, Chiba stepped on the sand mat and fell rapidly. The ape demon's long stick quickly lifted into the air. Seeing that the two were about to collide, at this time, Chiba smiled. His eyes fell on the stick. The imitation ability is activated instantly. Feces photo. Paste face technique. This is the Dung technique he transformed into by imitating Amaterasu, which has a strong corrosive ability. Puff. For a moment, Ali appeared out of nowhere and stuck directly to the top of the stick. Ah! The ape demon was stunned and let out a miserable scream. An arm emerges from the top of the stick, trying to wipe Ali away. As a result, with this swipe, ZZ smoked on the arm. Boom. The stick disappeared. Obviously, the ape demon couldn't stand it anymore. This. On the ground, Sarutobi Hiruzen stared wide-eyed, his eyes glazed over. Others are dumbfounded. Next moment, he saw Chiba swooping down and giving him the middle finger. Puff. Sarutobi Hiruzen ran away. His crotch pants sprayed out a large amount of Ali, spraying out a shallow pit on the ground. This feeling of weakness. Feeling that all the strength in his body was drained, Sarutobi Hiruzen knelt down on the ground with a plop. I didn't lose. Although he was powerless, he still had hope. Tear. Pulling off the scroll on the back, Sarutobi Hiruzen forcefully opened it. Illusion. Darkness technique. Chiba rushed over Sarutobi Hiruzen. As a result, he saw an unfolded scroll. Grunt. Chiba froze for a moment. He was puzzled. He felt that there was something wrong with the septic tank in his body, and a bubble came out. Then, there was no movement. Boom. With a kick to Sarutobi Hiruzen's forehead, Chiba fell to the ground. Being hit hard, Sarutobi Hiruzen slumped several times, with a big bump on his forehead and dirt all over his face. You didn't get the illusion. At this moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen was horrified and seemed to see a monster. The powerful illusion of second Hokage is obviously sealed in the scroll, but it has no effect. No. Your eyes. Suddenly, he saw Chiba's eyes. Poop-shaped eyes? Illusion. Chiba suddenly realized. After working for a long time, my septic tank can resist illusion. Now Chiba has feces eyes in a septic tank, and illusions have no effect on him at all. Walking up to Sarutobi Hiruzen, Chiba was about to cut someone. After all, this is the third time that the other party wants to kill him. You can try to detonate the detonator and see if you can kill me. Staring at Sarutobi Hiruzen, Chiba gave him one last chance. Grow his hands began to spray manure, and the manure was already in place. At this moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen had a bitter look on his face. It seems that your eyes have already discovered the detonator. Is this your last words? Raising his left hand, Chiba is ready to open. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Suddenly, dense footsteps came. Chiba frowned. He was so focused on Sarutobi Hiruzen just now that he ignored someone approaching. Stop. Chiba, don't kill third Hokage. There is something to say. Let go of Hokage-sama. Accompanied by several voices, dozens of figures appeared. Chiba turned his head to look. Nara clan, Akamichi clan, Yamanaka clan. Chiba, as long as you release Master Hokage, we are willing to recommend you as fourth Hokage. The patriarch of the Nara clan came out with an extremely anxious voice. Although he was the only one who spoke, it was obvious that he represented all the families present. Chiba swept across the crowd. Without the Aburame clan, not even Hyuga and Uchiha are here. Chiba smiled. Let him go. You guys are really good people. I gave him a room full of gold bars and he put a bounty on me. He sent people to kill me several times, did he ever let me go? Shall I choose Hokage position and Sarutobi Hiruzen? Excuse me. I choose, Puff. Originally, everyone thought that Chiba was just expressing his displeasure. But who would have imagined that just after he finished complaining, he turned around and hacked third Hokage to death? Do you dare to kill third Hokage? How dare you? If you do this, don't expect to get our support. This is a taboo. The people around were all startled and accused one after another. They have already persuaded with the position of Hokage, but the other party still hacked third Hokage to death. Puff. 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 Chiba raised the knife and chopped the corpse into several pieces. Seeing this, the people around were terrified. Immediately, Chiba called out the class mat and jumped on it. "Aren't you going to try your shadow technique?" Looking at Patriarch Nara, Chiba grinned. As a result, the other party was silent. Chiba looked at the other clans again. These tribes turned their heads quickly, as if they didn't dare to meet Chiba's eyes. "It seems that you have been watching the battle just now." With a sneer, Chiba lifted off and flew towards the village. As Chiba left, the people in the field looked at the third Hokage again. Too cruel. Even if it's killing, it's okay to leave a whole body. Death is dead. Is there any difference between one piece and several pieces? It is estimated that the Sarutobi family is going to end. Indeed, the Sarutobi family is doomed. The first thing Chiba did when he returned to the village was to turn the Sarutobi family residence into a pit. He didn't want to be attacked again, so he could only cut the grass and roots. This is also the reason why Chiba hacked the scorpion to death in the Land of Winds before. In the Sarutobi family cesspit, heads popped out of the cesspit one by one, trying to jump onto the building. As a result, the chrysanthemum died before they ran away. The figure sank, and a string of bubbles burst out. After doing all this, Chiba felt a sense of security in his heart again. Done. Leave. Hyuga family residence. In the family meeting room, the current patriarch Hyuga Tenzu, the previous patriarch Hyuga Tenin, and the young patriarch Hyuga Hiyashi sat together. They are waiting. The three remained silent, waiting for a message. Boom. 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 Following the sound of footsteps outside the meeting room, all three looked towards the door. Creak. A branch house clansman ran in. Dead. Third Hokage is dead. The Sarutobi family is a cesspit. Sure enough. Hyuga Tianren opened his mouth quietly, as if he had expected this result a long time ago. "Father? You already knew? Grandfather?" The two were surprised to hear Hyuga Tenshin's emotion. "Hee, of course I know, otherwise, how can I let the family not get involved in this matter?" Hyuga Tenin is here, with a look of, "I knew it a long time ago." Seeing the puzzled expressions on the faces of the two children and grandchildren, Hyuga Tenin told what happened before. "When Chiba came to the family to collect manure for the first time, I found him unusual. You all think Chiba eats shit, only I know he doesn't. He didn't eat. How could that be?" Tianzu father and son couldn't believe it. Chiba eat manure. This is a fact recognized by all. Hyuga Tenin shook his head. "Where do you think the feces will go after he eats them?" "Of course it's in the stomach." Hiyashi replied without thinking. "Yeah, if you ate it, it must be in your stomach, but Chiba, he ate it into a different dimension." Hyuga was stunned. Hyuga Hiyashi was also stunned. Different space? Chiba still has a different dimension in his stomach? That is a strange ability with space-time fluctuations. I watched him with blank eyes and found that after Chiba put the dung ball into his mouth, the dung ball disappeared inexplicably. What does this mean? It means that Chiba has mastered the ability of time and space. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't know, so he died. Chiba didn't know that Hyuga Tenin used to peek at him collecting excrement with his white eyes. When he came to Hushan Farm, he found that Uchiha Fugaku was leading several tribesmen as guests in front of the wooden house. "You're back." Seeing Chiba appear, Uchiha Fugaku smiled. "I'm surprised you're here." Looking at the other party, Chiba said something inexplicable. Immediately, Uchiha Fugaku held out his hand. Chiba also raised his hand. The two held hands together. "What are you talking about?" On one side, Aburame Jingmei's face was full of question marks, completely unable to understand what the two were talking about. "What do you know? Go and see the maggots with brother." At this time, Aburame Jui came over and pulled Jingmei away. "I'm telling you, this brood of maggots is very interesting. It's a combination of bugs and flies." The two walked farther and farther. Several Uchiha tribesmen also stayed away wisely. Field. Only Chiba and Fugaku are left. "I'm worried about your rear, let's take a look." "You're very well informed." The two sat down and spoke to each other. "Too many detonators, no one can get close. Do you still know the detonator?" "Don't blame for not helping you. It's good enough that you can come here." To be honest, Chiba didn't blame Uchiha Fugaku, but was grateful. At the very least, there is still a certain deterrent effect for the other party to come here. "By the way, I found out that Danzo also conspired to assassinate you." Suddenly, Uchiha Fugaku exposed this matter. Chiba wasn't surprised. The last time Danzo said the word, friend, to himself, Chiba sensed something was wrong. He didn't think much about it at the beginning, but afterward, Chiba had guessed it. Besides, Danzo transferred all the clansmen, and I don't know where they went. Looking at Chiba, Uchiha Fugaku waited for a response. As for Danzo, I will look for him. Compared to Sarutobi Hiruzen, Chiba's hatred for Danzo is not as strong. Although this person is insidious, but as long as he controls it well, he can be regarded as a vicious dog that bites the enemy. Everyone has their own strengths. Chiba feels that Danzo can be used to count those who plot against him. Foreign wars to the uninitiated, Danzo's strengths are civil wars. He just needs a sinister strategist, and Chiba thinks Danzo is quite suitable. He doesn't want to be calculated all day long. The gate of Hushan Farm. Chiba and Uchiha Fugaku communicated for a long time. Then, Fugaku left. Chiba doesn't care how the village discusses third Hokage's death, how they discuss themselves. After all, he even has the reputation of eating manure, so what if he kills Hokage? People's words are terrible. Unfortunately, it is of no use to me. Packed up, Chiba is going to inspect the farm. He wasn't in a hurry to find Danzo, he couldn't get away anyway. With strides, Chiba walked into the farm. Just now, he saw quite a few Aburame people grabbing hares and throwing pheasants into the farm. According to him, there should be hundreds of wild birds in the farm. It is estimated that in this day or so, the Aburame family caught a lot. Starting from the foot of the mountain, Chiba is full of expectations. Ever since, he started turning around from the bottom of the mountain. After spinning several times, Chiba almost fainted. Am I blind? Why isn't there a wild bird? Chiba looked suspicious. He clearly saw the Aburame tribe throwing wild birds into the farm just now. Why is it gone now? Could it be? They all ran to the mountainside? Chiba felt that there was nothing wrong with what he was thinking. What a bunch of naughty little boys. I spent a long time wandering around Shangiobi. With a smile on his face, Chiba walked towards the mountainside. After a while, he reached the mountainside. Then, he circled the mountainside several times. As a result, he only saw a few wild fowl feathers. Naughty. It seems that all the wild birds have gone to the top of the mountain to bask in the sun. With this in mind, Chiba rushed towards the top of the mountain. Tread. Hopping to the top of the hill, Chiba was stunned. His eyes were a little dull. I saw more than a dozen snakes the size of a bucket basking lazily in the sun. So the wild birds are all eaten by these snakes? Chiba collapsed. He wondered if the Aburame clan was playing tricks on him. Do you not know such basic common sense? Die to lousy. With a snap of his fingers, Chiba launched the reincarnation of the 5 grains. Puff puff. More than a dozen snakes scurried away one after another, and large pieces of wild bird feathers sprang out. There are wild birds that haven't had time to digest. Furious, Chiba sprayed feces with his palms, and rushed forward waving the feces. After a messy meal, Chiba left. Farm gate. Chiba came out and saw Aburame Jui and Shizumi. The 2 brothers and sisters were squatting on the ground not far away, their buttocks pouted, not knowing what they were doing. Sister, look at this maggot, did you think of anything? No, this is the offspring of worms and flies, think again. Hybrid breed? Shizumi blurted out, and Yuan's Aburame Jui shook his head. At this time, Chiba came over. Sister, why don't you understand? This means that as long as you and Chiba. As soon as Aburame Jui said Chiba's name, he saw Chiba leaning over with his head stretched out. This startled him a lot. Ahem. Why are you like my father, walking without making any sound? Aburame Jui was embarrassed. He is about to get to the point, who knows, the Lord is coming. Are all the animals on the farm caught by your family? Chiba started asking. Yeah, how is it? A lot. Aburame Jui came to the spirit, full of pride. You also caught the snake. Snake? What snake? What do we do with snakes? Startled by Chiba's question, Aburame Jui became suspicious. He's not stupid, isn't catching snakes in Huo's wild ship? You didn't catch the snake? No, we just catch hares and pheasants. Hearing this answer, Chiba fell into deep thought. He knew that this was another man working on his own farm. After all, the fence of the farm is only more than 3 meters high, and any ninja can throw a snake in. So, who is this time? With doubts, Chiba left the back mountain. He's going to find Danzo. Chiba thinks that Danzo is more suitable for this kind of investigation of villains. The nemesis of villains can only be villains, and Danzo is the king of villains. All the way to the Shimura family residence, Chiba discovered that the Danzo family residence was empty. So, he came to the base of the roots. Before entering the base, Chiba saw a strange scene. At this time, holding a white cloth in his hand, Danzo walked out from the gate of the base, his face full of sadness and regret. Chiba, I'm confused. Walking in front of him, Danzo cried out in grief, and tears fell to the ground with a click. Sarutobi Hiruzen forced me to join forces and wanted to assassinate you. If I don't obey, my people will be slaughtered by him. Speaking of this, Danzo choked up, and secretly looked at the other party. But, I'm your friend, I can't assassinate you. After speaking, Danzo stretched out his arms and opened his sleeves. Chiba's eyelids twitched. He saw the bloody engraving of "Chiba is my friend" on Danzo's arm. These words are crooked, and bloodline keeps flowing. Okay. I'm here to ask you to help me investigate something. Chiba couldn't stand it anymore, and hurriedly changed the subject. Field. Hearing that the other party asked for something, Danzo immediately regained his spirits. The originally sad and regretful expression disappeared instantly, replaced by a serious and dignified expression. Someone deliberately threw snakes on my farm, help me find out who threw them. After speaking, Chiba turned and left. Danzo thought it was a big deal, but he didn't expect it to be such a small thing. Shouldn't Chiba be talking to himself about the fourth Hokage's successor? Why come up to investigate and throw snakes? Although he was not happy in his heart, Danzo still carried it out. After all, the other party let him go, he had to know the good from the bad. Soon. With the roots out, the investigation began. An hour later, Chiba saw 3 people being taken to the back mountain. Orochimaru was silent. Jiraiya panicked. Tsunade was angry and shy. Master Chiba, after investigation, it is the snake they released. A root spoke respectfully. Good. With a wave of his hand, Chiba signaled that the other party could leave. Afterwards, he swept 103 squares. Let's talk. You killed 100,000 livestock on my farm. How will this account be settled? 100,000 head of livestock. Hearing this number, the 3 of Jiraiya knew that they had been tricked. Although they did not enter the farm, they are not idiots. Chiba's farm experienced a poisoning incident not long ago, and all the livestock were poisoned to death. How long has it been? How could there be 100,000 head of livestock? You liar. There can't be 100,000 cattle. Jiraiya refused to accept and yelled. Seeing the other party's reaction, Chiba looked sad. It's true that there are not 100,000 heads, it should be 99,990. And, at this point, you still care about those 10 or 8 livestock, is there any point? With a sigh, Chiba's tone was extremely sad. Jiraiya's face turned red. He knew Chiba was bragging, but he had no proof. In the field, Chiba swept past the 3 people in front of and directly past Tsunade. He felt that Tsunade was looking at him in the wrong way. The livestock are all dead, you can't afford to pay for it. In this case, help me collect the feces. With a helpless tone, Yi gestured to Jingmei beside her. Oh, Jingmei let out a cry and walked into the wooden house. The 3 of them immediately shook their heads when they heard, collect feces. Jiraiya. Impossible. Even if you kill me, I won't collect that thing. Orochimaru. If you kill me, I won't collect it. Tsunade. I don't collect anyway. The 3 of them were more determined than the other, and there was no room for negotiation. Collect feces. Impossible. Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, Jingmei came out with a sack on her back. Probably because the sack was too heavy, Jingmei staggered a little and almost fell. This made the 3 of Jiraiya feel contemptuous. The dignified Aburame patriarch's daughter struggles to carry a small sack? Next moment, the sack was dropped by Jingmei. Clatter, masses of gold bars poured from the sacks. Jiraiya froze. Orochimaru's eyes widened. Tsunade's mouth opened into an O shape. At this time, Chiba spoke. You help me collect feces, I can collect it anywhere. It's okay to go abroad to collect it. For the ones that are far away, you can pile them up together and let me know. These gold bars are the remuneration for the 3 of you. Chiba had just finished speaking. Tsunade rushed up with a whoosh and took half of it away. Immediately afterwards, Orochimaru took a step forward and took away more than half of the remaining gold bars. Now, Jiraiya is in a hurry. He only hesitated for 2 or 3 seconds, and there were only a few gold bars left in the pile. Tsunade. Actually, my biggest hobby is collecting poop. Orochimaru. Leave this kind of trivial matter to me. Jiraiya. You 2 are shameless. Soon, the 3 left. However, the 3 were obviously not evenly divided, with Tsunade and Orochimaru running in front and Jiraiya chasing behind. Looking at the backs of the 3, Chiba smiled. What does kill mean? He has money, and he can handle these people in minutes. As a piece shit, I really live up to my name. Hokage meeting room. Today, conference rooms are full of people. Except for Homura and Kaharu, the other seats are all the patriarchs of various ethnic groups. In particular, these patriarchs completely regarded Homura and Kaharu as heir, and Hyuga Tenin was faintly headed. As a powerful contemporary of Senju Hashirama, although Hyuga Tenin is old, he has a high prestige among all ethnic groups. Now, except for Danzo who is not here, everyone else is here. Knocking on the table, Hyuga Tenin looked around the crowd and spoke slowly. Everyone nodded, looking serious. This is a big event for their ethnic groups to recommend Hokage, and no one dares to laugh at it. Suddenly, the door of the conference room was pushed open, and Danzo stepped in. How could such a big event be missing me? Sweeping through the crowd, Danzo gave a sinister smile. Everyone was surprised to see Danzo appear. Danzo? You're still alive? Chiba didn't kill you. You are so brave, you still dare to show up? Are you afraid that Chiba will drown your entire clan? To be honest, they didn't expect Danzo to appear again, and they all thought that the other party had been killed by Chiba. But now, Danzo came intact, obviously confident. Hee, Chiba and I are friends, what do you know? With a sneer, Danzo walked directly to the patriarch of a small family and pulled him aside. Danzo. You're taking my place. Fart. This position has always been mine. Glancing at the other party with disdain, Danzo snorted coldly. He is a dignified Hokage assistant, if he doesn't even have a position, wouldn't it be embarrassing? Okay. Now that everyone is here, the meeting can begin. Stopping the quarrel between the two, Hyuga Tenin is ready to get down to business. After all, this meeting is to promote Hokage, not to compete for seats. Next, the meeting officially begins. As for the candidate for 4th Hokage, we, the Hyuga clan, recommend Chito. Hyuga Tenin spoke first, he just finished speaking. The Uchiha Patriarch also expressed his opinion. We Uchiha also elected Chiba as the 4th Hokage. We of the Aburame clan recommend Chiba. All three families in a row recommended Chiba, making this meeting almost without suspense. Our Nara family recommends Chiba. As soon as Patriarch Nara finished speaking, Danzo snorted coldly. Humph. The Nara clan. You blocked Chiba before, and now you are promoting Chiba. I suspect that you have bad intentions. Staring at Patriarch Nara, Danzo looked mocking. Danzo, don't talk nonsense, we stopped Chiba because we were worried that he would leave a reputation for killing the previous Hokage. Patriarch Nara hastily explained. Killed the predecessor Hokage. This has a great impact on Chiba's succession to Hokage. However, Tianyi still killed 3rd Hokage. Just now, no one mentioned this matter, but now, it is impossible not to mention it. If you want to be loyal to the Lord, it has to be Danzo. It's not easy. After the meeting, we will hold a memorial service for 3rd Hokage directly. As for the cause of death, let's say that he accidentally fell into the cesspit and drowned. In this way, the cause of Hiruzen's death has been identified, and whoever makes other remarks is slandering the 4th Hokage. Danzo finished speaking. He found that everyone was looking at him. The speed at which you fall into a well is faster than a stone. I think he is crossing the river while tearing down the bridge. As Sarutobi Hiruzen's best friend, he just died and he's really the king of villains. Early the next morning, 3rd Hokage's funeral and memorial service were held concurrently. The cause of death of 3rd Hokage was also defined after consultations among various ethnic groups. Fight to the death against powerful alien enemies. Of course they can't fall into the cesspit with what Danzo said, because it's too childish. Resisting a powerful enemy to die in battle not only found a reason for Sarutobi Hiruzen's death, but also promoted Chiba to the position of 4th Hokage. Because, in the mouths of various tribes, that formidable enemy was killed by Chiba. At the memorial service, all ethnic groups gathered together, looking sad. Many villagers came to express their condolences and listen to the deeds of 3rd Hokage's resistance to powerful enemies. Chiba also participated. No way, he was dragged here by force. The memorial service lasted all morning. It is finally over. Chiba's legs were numb from sitting on the ground, and he could finally go back to the farm. Only. As soon as he stood up, he was dragged to the Hokage building by the patriarchs of various clans. Chiba. After discussion among our tribes, you will take the place of 4th Hokage temporarily. To be honest, at this moment, Chiba's brain is blank. He knew nothing about it beforehand. We have sent people to gather the villagers, you prepare and you will speak. The Nara patriarch spoke solemnly, left behind these words. Not only him, but also the patriarchs of various clans left the Hokage building. Obviously, their identities are not suitable to stand beside Chiba. Whoosh. At this time, Hitaki Sakumo appeared. Chiba, no. 4th Hokage-sama. I am the captain of Anbu, Hitaki Sakumo. After introducing himself, Hitaki Sakumo had mixed feelings. He felt that Chiba's identity had changed too quickly. So close that it felt unreal to him. Oh. Chiba is listless and not in high spirits. He really doesn't want to be Hokage. Farmer is his dream. Chiba is in a daze. Hitaki Tsukumo was not idle, and handed over a brand new Hokage robe. Seeing that Chiba didn't move, Hitaki directly changed his clothes for him. By the way, Hokage-sama, is your speech ready? Suddenly, Hitaki Tsukumo asked. Chiba shook his head. Speech? What do you want that thing for? It's not enough to have a mouth. Now that things are irreversible, Chiba simply accepts the reality. Hitaki Tsukumo. You gather all Anbu now, go to the meeting room and wait for me. Chiba regained his fighting spirit and felt that he had to do something. As a fourth Hokage with great taste, he must be different, be unique. Not long. A dozen Anbu gathered in the conference room. And Chiba also gave his first order to become Hokage. Make gold bars. With the ability to imitate activated, he made gold dust pads one by one. Anbu's job is to press these placers into gold bars. Isn't fourth Hokage's ability too exaggerated? In such a short period of time, so much gold dust was produced? Gold bars, this is too much. Get it done. A group of Anbu started to work, and each of them couldn't calm down. Do it well. After the distribution to the villagers, it will be your turn. After leaving this sentence, Chiba drifted away. The others left, but the words just now went deep into every Anbu's heart. Did I hear you right? Give the villagers gold bars? We have two? That's great too. Hurry up. When Chiba came to the top of the Hokage building, a large number of villagers had already gathered in the open space downstairs. For Chiba, almost everyone knows him. The smell is big, dig out the dung, and eat Ali. This is the villagers' first impression of Chiba. They were puzzled, how could such a person become the fourth Hokage? On the roof. Danzo gestured, indicating that he could speak. He felt that he couldn't wait any longer, and the villagers might have to question him if he waited any longer. Tread. Wearing Hokage costumes and a Hokage hat, Chiba came to the fence with steps. Looking around at the villagers, Chiba saw suspicion, puzzlement, and disgust. He found that the expressions of the villagers were all negative, and none of them were happy or excited. He cleared his throat. Prepare to change the villagers' impression of themselves in one fell swoop. I succeed fourth Hokage. The first thing I do is to give each villager a gold coin weighing 1 kati. Chiba's statement was brief. He waited for the cheers of the villagers. However, he found that all the people around him were suspicious and silent. Danzo. Master Hokage. Danzo trotted all the way and moved closer to him. Immediately send someone to register the villagers' information. Each household has a gold bar of 1 kati. Go to the conference room to get the gold bars. After speaking, Chiba waved his hand. Finally. The expressions of the villagers changed from suspicion to ecstasy, from ecstasy to worship. People cheered and jumped with excitement. Long live the fourth Hokage. Support fourth Hokage. Master Hokage is so kind. Hokage, I love you. Hearing the cheers of the villagers, Chiba's ears twitched. He heard the phrase, I love you, and followed the voice to look over. As a result, Chiba saw an aunt in her 50s. Chiba. Hastily looking away, Chiba waved his hands and kept smiling at the villagers. Danzo's execution is strong. When Chiba was thinking about how to get out, Danzo sent people to set up more than a dozen tables and began to register the information of the villagers. Here. Chiba finally had a reason to get out of the way. When he returned to the meeting room, the patriarchs of all ethnic groups came. At this moment, their eyes were all on the gold bars in the conference room, and their eyes were shining brightly. Chiba saw that everyone was there, and got straight to the point. Calculate the clan members and strength of each of your clans. The stronger the family is, the more cases they get. The more clansmen, the more gold bars you get. If your family has a large number of people and is strong, then you will get double the gold bars. Chiba just finished speaking. The Uchiha patriarch was overjoyed. In terms of strength, Uchiha said they are the second in the village, and no family dares to say the third. In terms of numbers, the Uchiha family beat all families. Today is destined to be a busy day for Chiba. After the lecture, he plunged into the work of condensing the placer gold. No way. He was bragging too much, and he had to hold back even with tears in his eyes. The villagers are still collecting gold, and the statistics of the number of people of all ethnic groups here have come out. When the turnover cannot be opened, Chiba decided that the Uchiha family will give priority. Soon. Amid the envy and jealousy of the various clans, the Uchiha clan left with a dozen sacks on their backs. After that, there is the Hyuga clan. The two big families have reaped a lot, and the other families that have stimulated this excitement are all queuing up, not daring to be left behind at all. Want to go to the toilet? Then you go. Move it, and the gap is gone. Ever since, they held back from noon until evening. Finally, after sending away the whole family, Chiba slumped on the chair, not wanting to move. My hands are swollen. Am I as swollen as badly? Master Hokage seems to have forgotten something. A group of Anbu were exhausted and looked forward to it. The hands they pressed the gold bars were all swollen, and now they could finally rest. Next moment, Chiba stood up from the chair. Dust Gold. Activated the imitation ability for the north time, and Kaya directly condensed the top 10 cities of gold dust. The blind chicken pressed it randomly, and the placer gold was kneaded into a big golden ball with pits and holes. Dwang. The golden ball fell to the ground and rolled in front of Hitaki Tsukumo. Look at the score. Leaving this sentence behind, Chiba immediately flashed away. Strolling out of the Hokage building, his stomach was already empty. This Hokage is really not human. After making complaints, Chiba strode away and walked towards the barbecue shop. Master Hokage, good evening. Hokage-sama's clothes are really cool. Master Hokage, can we play with shit together? Master Hokage, your smell is gone. Walking into the street, many villagers greeted with great enthusiasm. This filled Chiba with a sense of accomplishment. With a smile all over his face, he nodded to the villagers frequently, which made his neck ache. Walking to the door of the barbecue shop, Chiba's footsteps suddenly stopped. Taking 2 steps back, Chiba looked up and looked at the billboard of the barbecue restaurant. I saw that the billboard turned out to be a portrait of myself, holding a skewer of barbecue in my hand. This boss is really talented. He doesn't know how to take my heat. He has no resistance to the operation of the barbecue shop owner. After all, the self in the portrait is holding a barbecue, not a lump of ollie. This is promoting your own positive image, which should be greatly encouraged. After eating a hearty barbecue, Chiba went back to the back mountain. He is so tired that he needs to take a nap. The next day, in a daze, Chiba felt that he was being carried on his back. That's right, it's carrying it on your back. When he opened his eyes, he found that Hitaki Tsukumo was running towards the Hokage building with his back on his back. Where's my bed? Chiba's head was buzzing. Chiba was not happy. He hasn't woken up yet, so he will be forced to work. Master Hokage, it's almost noon, and I've called you several times. Hitaki Tsukumo's tone was anxious, and it was obvious that he had no choice but to make the worst move. He has called Chiba up since morning, shouted for hours. Moreover, because of yesterday's succession ceremony, the pile of documents in the office is very high, and all of them need to be processed. Carried all the way to Hokage's office by Hitaki Tsukumo, Chiba was put on a chair. Master Hokage, you need to worry about these documents. I'm going to help you buy breakfast. Hitaki Tsukumo wiped his sweat while speaking. After speaking, the person disappeared. Bark. As soon as the Shuo-Mao people left, Chiba's eyelids started to fight again, and he started to catch up on sleep when he pressed against the table. He consumed too much chakra yesterday. How can I recover if I don't sleep much? When Hitaki Tsukumo returned with his breakfast, he was stunned. He doesn't know what to do. He can't wake up Chiba again, right? Hitaki Tsukumo knew very well that even if he woke up Chiba, he would have to fall asleep again when he turned around. Forget it, so be it. Noon, Chiba woke up. He was awakened again by Hitaki Tsukumo. Master Hokage. There was a fight between Hyuga Hiyashi and Uchiha Fugaku in the street. Rubbing his eyes, Chiba let out an "oh." He picked up the boxed lunch on the table and started to pick it up. Hitaki Tsukumo looked constipated. Master Hokage. The two of them fought because of the title of the strongest family in the village, which had a great impact. Then what do you think should be done? Chewing the rice in his mouth, Chiba asked vaguely. I think they should be locked up immediately to prevent the situation from expanding. Very good. Let's go. Casting an appreciative look, Chiba waved his hand. Hitaki Tsukumo was stunned. Was the order so random? What? Do you want me to go in person? With a word of urging, Chiba became impatient. Isn't it reasonable for him to be the fourth Hokage and accept the opinions of his subordinates? Soon, Hyuga Hiyashi and Uchiha Fugaku were captured by Anbu. The reason is to gather crowds to make trouble and undermine the stability of the village. This event had a huge impact. The two clans who received the news hurriedly dispatched their respective clan leaders and rushed towards Hokage's office. Hey, in the office, Chiba sighed and stared at the thick stack of documents in a daze. How could he handle so many documents? Randomly flipped through the content of a file, and it turned out to be the graduation ceremony of the ninja school? As Hokage, he has to speak up to inspire these students. Isn't that funny? I didn't even go to ninja school myself. After making complaints, Chiba was really speechless. Although he became a Hokage, Chiba is not even a genin until now. Boom. 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 Suddenly, hurried footsteps came from the corridor. After a while, Chief Hyuga and Chief Uchiha walked in together. Master Hokage. The two looked anxious and spoke respectfully. They came for their sons. At this moment, Chiba was worrying about how to deal with the documents. Seeing these two people, his eyes lit up immediately. With a smile on his face, Chiba walked up to the two of them. You came just in time. Come on, these documents are handed over to you. If you can't finish it, you can sleep in the wrestling today. After speaking, Chiba walked out with strides. Dwang. The door of the office was slammed shut, leaving behind a pair of big-eyed and small-eyed people. Konoha Hushan. Chiba hid in the wooden house, lying leisurely on the soft bed. I hope those two patriarchs won't let me down. With snacks in his mouth, Chiba did not forget to miss the two diligent patriarchs. After all, I really have no experience in dealing with government affairs. Every family can manage it, and a village in a district is not easy to grasp. Lying a bit bored, Chiba's mind moved. Host, Chiba. Fruit. Dung fruit, a fruit condensed from the essence of countless kinds of feces. Fruit introduction. Can control and manipulate all biological feces and excrement. Advanced fruit ability. Upgradable. Reincarnation of 5 grains. Beauty. Detoxification. Control all living things in the body. Imitation ability. SSS. This level of ninjutsu for all ninjas. Advanced dung fist. Manipulate feces to condense into fists to attack the enemy. Up to 1,000 dung fists can be condensed at the same time. Septic tank. Infinite space. Dedicated to storing feces. Gather the feces within a radius of 100 meters through the mind, and store them through the mouth. Dung points. 1 ton of dung equals 1 dung point, 256. Available chakra amount. Upgradable, 3,477 3,500. Scanning the attribute panel, Chiba's eyes fell on the advanced ability of the fruit. How can this fruit's advanced ability be upgraded? Originally, Chiba thought that the advanced ability was at its peak, but now, this ability can break through again. I collected dozens of trucks of manure from Danzo before, and then collected a manure mountain. The manure point is 256 points, will it rise? He hesitated. Chiba speculates that with this upgrade, the dung point may go straight to the end. Clicked. With the mentality that it is useless to keep it, Chiba directly clicked the upgrade. Immediately, he felt a strange transformation in his body. This feeling is like the soul has been sublimated and the body has been evolved. It seems that at this moment, the relationship between him and feces is closer. Fruit awakening ability. Reincarnation of 5 grains, beauty, detoxification, control the excretion direction of feces in all organisms. With his eyes widened, Chiba discovered that this ability was just 2 words more. Direction? Excretion direction? After thinking about it, Chiba's eyes lit up. In the past, his reincarnation of 5 grains could only control the excretion of the enemy's chrysanthemum, so if he changed the direction, wouldn't he be able to excrete it in his mouth? Surprises keep coming. He found that Waffenchi's introduction also changed. Septic tank. Infinite space. Dedicated to storing and releasing feces. Gather and distribute feces within a radius of 1 kilometer through ideas, and can absorb and release through any part of the body. After reading this introduction, Chiba was extremely excited. In the past, the range of my excrement collection was only 100 meters, but now it has expanded to 1 kilometer. It should be that after the awakening of the fruit, the functions of the septic tank have also increased. This is not the main reason for his excitement. The most important thing is that he can collect feces without using his mouth in the future. Absorb, release, keeping talking, Chiba couldn't help but want to test it. In the back mountain forest, Chiba calmed down, and after confirming that there was no one around, he slowly raised his tail. Freed. Pointing his palm at a big tree, his heart skipped a beat. Puff. In an instant, a large amount of ollie spewed out from the palm, like an ultra-high-pressure water spray gun. In a blink, the big tree with the thickness of a bucket was sprayed through by the golden oligo in an instant. The big tree fell and died miserably. Not only that, the high-speed ollie was constantly castrated and sprayed farther away. So strong. Chiba was overjoyed. Who can withstand such a high-intensity spraying speed? Moreover, the distance is far enough. According to his visual inspection, the farthest distance is almost 1 kilometer. This distance is completely enough. Subsequently, recycle. The thought in my heart moved again. Whoosh. I see. All the feces that were sprayed flew towards him at an extremely fast speed. Almost with one breath, a large amount of ollie got into his palm. How fast it spits out, it comes back as fast. The excitement in my heart couldn't be added. Chiba smiled from ear to ear. Too strong. He thought, if this was placed on the battlefield, he would be a humanoid self-propelled dung sprayer, and wherever he sprayed it, he would suffer. The point is, this thing can be recycled. If this cycle continues, he is completely a perpetual motion machine. Huh? Suddenly, Chiba had an inspiration and came up with a better idea. He raised his hands this time and pushed out his palms. Mind communication septic tank. Freed. The moment the feces appeared, Chiba changed the shape of the feces with his thoughts. Ever since, a horrible scene appeared. Puff puff. Countless dung balls sprayed out from his palms, and the speed exceeded the speed of sound. The dense dung balls were like a golden thread, instantly destroying all the trees within a kilometer ahead. Tread. He turned around. Huang Sao. This moment. Chiba has a feeling of holding Gatling. The difference is that Gatling is emitting blue flames, and the color from his palms is the color given by ollie. Recycle. Chiba drank freely. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Countless dung balls came through the air and penetrated into his body. It's just a pair of palms. If I fire with full power and my body explodes with dung balls, who can stop it? Chiba is full of pride. The dung ball attack is not just as simple as launching the dung ball. Chiba also saw the second stage attack of the ball. It is 1 stage to launch, and 2 stages to fly the dung ball back. He felt that no one could stop this unexpected attack method. In a good mood, Chiba slipped into the farm non-stop. You are the one. Seeing a cute pheasant, Chiba jumped on it. Giggle. Asterisk the pheasant screamed, flapping its wings, and was about to fly away. It's useless to call me brother, I'll just use you as an experiment. Chiba comforted the pheasant with a smirk. Ability activation. The reincarnation of grains. Target, pheasant. Location, chicken mouth. Next moment, the pheasant shivered all over. Puff. A bubble of white chicken feces spewed out of the chicken's mouth, and it sprayed directly on Chiba's face. Chicken, amazed. He flapped his wings a few times and fell to the ground. Chiba was also surprised. Careless. Wiping his face, Chiba was a little embarrassed. He forgot to point the chicken's beak in another direction, and as a result, he got chicken shit on his face. Fortunately no one saw it. Relieved, Chiba turned around. Chiba. Aburame Jingmei, Hitaki Sakumo. At this time, Shizumi and Sakumo glanced back and forth at the paralyzed pheasant and Chiba. Their gazes were extremely strange. Looking at the two people with wide-eyed eyes, Yi wished he could find a crack in the ground and sneak in. When did these two people come? He has no idea. Ahem, Master Hokage, the villagers are looking for you. Hitaki Sakumo let out a dry cough and hastily changed the subject. He couldn't say that he just saw Master Hokage doing bad things to a chicken with his ass pouted. Aburame Jingmei blushed, and ran away with a hum. Hey, Chiba was tired and felt that it was useless to explain himself. After sorting out his mood, he began to ask, what do the villagers want me for? It's about fertilizing the fields. Fertilization? Yes. The weather is hot recently, and the villagers plan to grow some fruits and vegetables. After hearing Hitaki Sakumo's words, Chiba became restless. He is dignified Hokage, Guangren is going to fertilize? Don't go. Even if you beat him to death, you won't go. Half an hour later. Shit escape, shit rain technique. Standing on the edge of the farmland, Chiba is calm and calm, showing his ability to imitate. Instantly. The poop cloud coalesces, and the dung pips begin to fall onto the fields. Seeing this scene, the surrounding villagers cheered and looked at Chiba with eyes filled with admiration. Small. Isn't this a matter of waving? Smiling and waving at the villagers, Chiba held his head high and received wave after wave of praise. Until he left the field, he was still smiling. Master Hokage. How are you feeling? Well, in the future, we need to do more things like this kind of going deep into the grassroots. Chiba patted Hitaki Sakumo on the shoulder, very satisfied with the other party's arrangement. After all, the masses are nothing small. Whoosh. Suddenly, an Anbu appeared. Master Hokage, the Uzumaki clan sent a message for help. All clans are waiting for you in the conference room. When Chiba came to the meeting room, he found that the patriarchs of all ethnic groups were all there. Even Danzo has arrived. Master Hokage is here. Seeing Chiba coming, everyone stood up and shouted respectfully. Sit down. Waving his hand, Chiba is not used to this. As he took his seat, 2 scrolls were placed in front of Chiba. Scanning the content on the first scroll, Chiba was quite surprised. Kirigakure actually sent a vanguard, ready to attack Uzumaki village? Immediately, he opened the second scroll. Rain Shinobi village gathering ninja troops on the border? If it was one piece of information, Chiba could understand it, but now why are there two pieces of information together? Kirigakure is going to fight Uzumaki clan, Rain Shinobi village Shenbing frontier. Isn't Kirigakure allied with Rain Shinobi village? After thinking for a moment, Chiba threw the two scrolls to the others. Let's see. The crowd began to pass and watch. After a while, everyone finished watching, and Chiba signaled that he could speak. Master Hokage. I'm sure Mist Shinobi and Rain Shinobi have allied themselves. Rain Shinobi Shenbing border should be waiting for Mist Shinobi to break through the Uzumaki clan. At that time, Mist Shinobi and Rain Shinobi will attack our border at the same time. Patriarch Nara spoke first and hit the nail on the head. It has to be said that his strategic vision is extremely high, almost on par with Homura. I'm curious, there is an example of Sand Shinobi village's defeat. Why do Rain Shinobi and Mist Shinobi think they can win? The patriarch of the Yamanaka family was puzzled and asked this question. This, in fact, is not only his doubt, but also the doubt of many people present. You know, Sand Shinobi village was a complete failure, even the village was flooded. Under such circumstances, Rain Shinobi and Mist Shinobi still choose to join forces and prepare to attack the Nation of Fire, which is elusive. Chiba also wants to know this question. Maybe, it's because of the Ghost Lamp clan. Suddenly, Danzo spoke. All eyes turned to Danzo. The Ghost Lanterns have a secret technique called hydration technique. If I'm not mistaken, the hydration technique just restrains Hokage's ability. Following Danzo's words, everyone suddenly realized. Hydration technique, which can turn the whole body into liquid, so that Chiba's ability to make people loose will lose its effect. After all, in the state of hydration, the whole body of the Ghost Lamp family is full of water, and only the upper body is transformed into fighting. I see. Chiba got it. In this state, the other party doesn't even have a butt. How can he have diarrhea? But the other party has to have a mouth, right? As long as there is a hole in the opponent's body, he can let the opponent come out. After all, his ability has awakened. Thinking of this, Chiba felt compelled to go there himself. The Ghost Lamp family can just test his new grain reincarnation and septic tank. Clearing his throat, Chiba spoke. Kirigakure sent vanguard troops to attack the Uzumaki clan. As a good friend and partner of the Uzumaki clan, I decided to go there myself. No. No way. Absolutely not. Impossible. As soon as Chiba spoke, everyone objected all the time, and his tone was extremely firm. Master Hokage. Your safety is extremely important. It's just Kirigakure, the Uchiha clan, just go. The Uchiha patriarch stood up with a sonorous and forceful tone, full of fighting spirit. Joke. Chiba going to the front. Even if the whole clan is dispatched, Chiba will not be allowed to go to the front line. In case something happened to Chiba, it would be too late for them to regret it. My Hyuga clan can go to the border of the Land of Rain and monitor Rain Shinobi. My Nara clan can go to the country of the Vortex. I am the Akamichi clan. I am Yamanaka. The patriarchs expressed their opinions one by one, and all of them were willing to lead the team to the front line. In the end, only Danzo was left. He looked at Chiba, ready to speak. Only. Chiba spoke first. As a Hokage, I don't even dare to go to the front line, so why do I do Hokage? Sweeping through the crowd, Chiba looked stern. First Hokage, second Hokage, which one can't be played? Since Mist Shinobi has sent the vanguard to attack the Uzumaki clan, let's fight Mist Shinobi first. Go back and fight Rain Shinobi when you're done. Speaking of this, Tien Yi turned to Danzo. Danzo. I order you, set off to Rain Shinobi village immediately. No matter what method you use, hold Hanzo. As long as you hold him for a few days, you will be a great achievement. Hearing Chiba's order, Danzo nodded solemnly. He dare not say anything else, but when it comes to making friends, Danzo still has some experience in self-confidence. Moreover, the dozens of carts of feces he collected before were purchased from the Land of Rain, which gave him a good reason to contact Hanzo. Hokage-sama, don't worry, I will hold Hanzo, even if it costs my life. Danzo patted his chest for assurance. As a result, he found that no one took care of himself. Only Chiba looked at him encouragingly. While I am going to war, Mitokado Homura will take over the administration of the village temporarily. Eyes fell on Homura, and Chiba made his choice. End of the meeting. Chiba ordered Hitaki Tsukumo to release Hiyashi and Fugaku. Fighting. Wouldn't it be better to go to the battlefield and fight the enemy? Hokage goes to war. It is destined to be huge. Chiba, dressed in the Hokage 543 royal robe, left the village and headed towards the country of Uzumaki. Around him, hundreds of ninjas of various races followed, and dozens of ninjas who were good at scouting opened the way ahead. Around Chiba Hyuga Hiyashi, Uchiha Fugaku, Aburame Shizumi, Mito Fujiki. These four surrounded Chiba, making it difficult for Hitaki to get close to Hokage. Chiba is also a little helpless. His original plan was to take a few fast subordinates and fly on the sandmat by himself. In this way, he can quickly rush to the Uzumaki clan. As a result, various ethnic groups strongly opposed it. In the end, he could only be protected layer upon layer, surrounded like a zongzi. Running is boring. Ever since, Chiba's eyes fell on Jingmei's backpack. Jingmei, what did you bring in your backpack this time? Isn't there toilet paper? Chiba looked at the other party's bulging backpack, intending to find out what was inside. Jingmei flicked her braid proudly. Let me show you. After speaking, Jingmei stretched her hand in. She took out a thick notebook and a pen. You want to draw? Chiba doesn't understand. No, I call this the merit book, which is used to record the number of enemies killed by everyone. Oh, Chiba looks weird, Russia for a week. He didn't even think of this, but Jingmei actually thought of it? This is a statistician. And then record it. After thinking about it, Chiba has a plan. Well, kill an enemy genin, a gold bar. Chiba spoke slowly. As soon as he finished speaking, all the ninjas around were shocked. Even Hiyashi and Fugaku stretched their ears and looked excited. How much is a genin worth? A gold bar genin is cannon fodder. But cannon fodder can be exchanged for a gold bar? Ignoring the movements of the people around him, Chiba continued to set prices. Kill an enemy chunin, 3 gold bars. Kill an enemy jonin, dry food jinlei. Kill an enemy cage level, 300 gold bars. Chiba's voice was not too loud, but it was clearly heard by everyone around him. The Uchiha Patriarch was excited, his eyes looked like he had pink eye. Head Hyuga's eyes turned white, and his heart was hard to calm down. Patriarch Nara looked thoughtful, thinking that his family could have a shadow group's second genin. The Akamichi clan has a big belly, and imagines that the whole clan turns into a meat chariot and rolls around on the battlefield. The Yamanaka Patriarch thought, unexpectedly controlled the enemy's jonin, and then rushed into the enemy's camp to hack. In the field, Jingmei recorded Chiba's words carefully. But she was in trouble again. How do you judge the number of enemies killed? Head. Chiba replied directly. In this way, the system of gold bars for killing the enemy was perfected. The large army marched all the way to the southeast without any accidents. Suddenly, boom. The explosion sounded suddenly from a few miles away. Immediately afterwards, the dark Konoha shinobi pressed on. Then, nothing happened. Whoosh, soon, Chief Hyuga and Chief Uchiha came to Chiba hand in hand. Hyuga held a white figure in Tianzu's hand, and he had no breath. Lord Hokage, I found a strange thing. Throwing the white figure on the ground, Tianzu took advantage of the situation and closed his white eyes. Oh? Chiba glanced at white Zetsu on the ground, feeling a little surprised. This white Zetsu is quite courageous, and single-handedly came to die. Who killed it? I. Chief Hyuga raised his hand. Jingmei, write it down. Chiba gestures to Jingmei records. Now, Patriarch Uchiha felt awkward. He was only a second or two late, and the white figure was shot to death by Chief Hyuga. Now, he watched helplessly as the name of the Hyuga Patriarch was recorded on the book, and 3 gold bars were marked on the back. This is just a blip. Night fell. The large army began to repair. Hey, at this speed, it will take at least 2 days to reach the Uzumaki family. Looking at the busy group of people around, Chiba complained in his heart. If he went to the Uzumaki clan alone, he could fly there in less than half a day. But now, the large force has seriously slowed down the speed. For this reason, Chiba thought about sneaking away. However, he is always accompanied by Hiyashi and Fugaku. Obviously, these 2 people are just to prevent themselves from escaping. Forget it. That's it. Compared with the speed of Chiba's main force, Danzo's speed to range Shinobi Village was several times faster. Just after dark, Danzo appeared in Hanzo's mansion. Danzo, do you want to attack again this time? Hanzo's voice was a little cold, and his eyes were slightly narrowed under the special mask. Hearing Hanzo's words, Danzo nodded. Recently, a field has been reclaimed in the village to grow melons, fruits and vegetables, which requires a lot of manure. Besides, because it's urgent, the price can be mentioned. Danzo said this. To be honest, even he didn't believe it himself. Likewise, Hanzo would not believe it. Tell me your real reason for coming too. Ahem, since you asked, I won't beat around the bush. At this moment, Danzo's face changed, showing strong admiration and awe. Our master Hokage has developed a technique. It can strike a village at a super long distance. Oh? Is that the art that turns Sand Shinobi Village into a cesspit? Hanzo looked dignified and asked. He naturally knew that Sand Shinobi Village was turned into a cesspit by Chiba, and he even knew that third Hokage was also killed. Only because the Ghost Lantern clan vowed that they could break Chiba's feces technique, Hanzo chose to temporarily ally with Mist Shinobi. He is waiting. Wait for Mist Shinobi to take down the Uzumaki clan. Wait for Mist Shinobi to fight Chiba first. If the Ghost Lanterns can really resist Chiba, Hanzo's border troops will fulfill their promise and invade the country of destruction. After one day, Chiba led the ninja troops into the territory of Uzumaki. The large army passed through several villages on the border in a mighty manner, attracting the gaze of many Uzumaki country villagers. Old woman, come and see. An old man stood on the stone pier with a shocked expression and shouted towards the yard. What's the matter? Quick! Look! The young man in the middle is the beggar from before. The old man pointed in the direction of the ninja troops, his eyes widened. I'm dazzled, I can't see clearly. It's him. I'm sure it's him. The old man swore. At this time, Chiba seemed to have a sense, and turned to look at the village. He saw the old man. Waving to each other, Chiba was very happy. It was him, he even waved at me. Excitedly dancing, the old man almost fell off the stone pier. At the same time, Chiba gave the order to accelerate forward. There is no need to investigate ahead, speed up and rush to the village of Vortex. After speaking, he directly summoned the sandpad and jumped on it. Whoosh! Flying fast on the sandpad, Chiba couldn't wait. As soon as Chiba moved, the large army also accelerated. All speed up, protect Hokage-sama. Master Hokage is going to pick up the head first, everyone hurry up. For the gold bars, for Lord Hokage, accelerate. Without Chiba, the ninja troops have no scruples, and their speed has increased dramatically, several times faster than before. Ever since, Chiba was surprised to find that hundreds of ninja troops could keep up with him. If I knew this, the circle would have flown. Vortex Country. Coastal Defense Line. The contemporary Uzumaki Patriarch. Uzumaki circled around, frowning, staring at a captured Mist Shinobi ninja in silence. Through the confession of this Mist Shinobi ninja, he knew that what was repelled just now was a vanguard force of Mist Shinobi. What they, the Uzumaki clan, will face next is the Emperor powerhouse of the Lamp clan and the Wei Yoruichi clan led by 3rd Mizukage. Puff. Ending the captive's life, Uzumaki began to issue orders. Immediately set up detonating symbols on the coast, and withdraw the defensive front for 5 miles. Also, gather the old, weak, women and children in the village and be ready to send them away at any time. As the head of the Uzumaki clan, Uzumaki has been playing tricks. He knows very well that the coastline is very likely to be unstoppable, so it is better to dismiss some of the clansmen. It is estimated that the reinforcements from Konoha village will not be able to wait. After he learned that Rain Shinobi village was at the frontier of Chenbing, he gave up hope for Konoha's reinforcements. After all, Konoha village will definitely give priority to defending the border of the Land of Rain. At this time, a clansman ran over. Patriarch, reinforcements. Konoha's reinforcements have arrived. This clansman was full of excitement and couldn't calm down. Oh, come on. Follow me to meet you. Hearing the news, Yulei Joshuen was overjoyed. He never expected that Konoha village would send reinforcements. When a group of Uzumaki people came to greet them at the entrance of the village, their expressions were exaggerated and joyful. So many Konoha shinobi readers. That's too many families. Uchiha, Hyuga, these 2 big families are here too. Look, that's the new 4th Hokage. Everyone looked together and saw Chiba wearing a Hokage imperial robe. At this moment, Uzumaki Joshuen walked over with a respectful and excited expression. Are you Lord 4th Hokage? Who are you? Chiba smiled and spoke softly. I am the Uzumaki Patriarch, Uzumaki Joshuen. Oh? Uzumaki circle around? Chiba froze for a moment. Why does this name sound familiar? Your name, does it mean that you can deal with anyone? Do you have a 50-50 split? Ahem, being asked by Chiba, Uzumaki was a little embarrassed. He can't say that this name was invented by his parents after they saw the Uzumaki current by the sea, could they? The welcome ceremony was grand. Moreover, Uzumaki retreated even the people from the shoreline, leaving only a few scouts. Joke. The major families of Konoha have come, but the Uzumaki family is still afraid of a hammer? Now, he can't wait for the Mist Shinobi enemies to come. At the banquet, Uzumaki tried to get close to the patriarchs of various tribes frequently, and wanted to know the 4th Hokage. As a result, he found that these people would adore Hokage Chiba every time they mentioned it. Of all the Hokages in the past, I only serve the 4th Hokage. Only 4th Hokage can lead Konoha to glory. The 4th Hokage is the beacon of our village. Fight for the 4th Hokage. The patriarchs of various ethnic groups responded sincerely, and Uzumaki was taken aback for a while. He never imagined that the young 4th Hokage, who had just succeeded, would be able to gain the loyalty of all the families. It's incredible. Boom, boom, boom. Suddenly, the sound of hurried footsteps broke the atmosphere of the banquet. Ships. A large number of ships have appeared at sea. Oh? Let's go. Hearing this news, Chiba stood up immediately and walked outside first. When he moved, the chief of the two clan also moved. Afterwards, hundreds of Konoha shinobi practitioners also moved in unison. Master Hokage really has the support of the entire Konoha. Seeing this scene, Uzumaki Joshuen felt emotional. On the sea, hundreds of ships are sailing. Report to Master Mizukage that you have seen the coastline. A subordinate spoke in a respectful tone. The long-haired 3rd Mizukage nodded with a blank expression. Beside Mizukage, the great elder of the Ghost Lamp clan and the Kaguya clan head stood side by side, with excitement on their faces. In this battle, we must quickly wipe out the Uzumaki clan and approach the border of the Land of Fire. That's right. As long as we occupy part of the Fire Nation's territory, we can exchange it for a lot of gold bars from that Hokage. The two spoke one after another, unable to hide their greed. Looking at the two people who were restless, 3rd Mizukage smiled. The Hanzo of Rain Shinobi Village wants to use us to block that Chiba. But he doesn't know that our real purpose is to get a lot of gold bars from Hokage. As for the Uzumaki family, it's just a family with no fighting power, blocking our way, just wipe him out. Wang Heya. This is a cliff hundreds of meters away from the coastline, which originally belonged to the first line of defense of the Uzumaki clan. Now, Chiba stood on the cliff, looking at the boats like black dots on the sea. Behind him, hundreds of ninjas are ready to go, like cheetahs about to be released. Master Hokage, there are some detonators and traps on the coast, should I send people to clean them up immediately? Standing beside Chiba, Uzumaki spoke respectfully. He was worried that Hokage would take the lead and rush down. If he fell into a trap by mistake, it would be troublesome. You don't need to go down, or you have to come up. Chiba shook his head and spoke softly. When he said this, he was a little confused with his tears. And the patriarchs of various clans behind him suddenly realized, and stuffed their hands into their trouser pockets one by one. Gradually, the black spots on the sea surface are getting closer and closer, and the people on the ship can already be seen clearly. Mist Shinobi paid a lot of money this time, there are almost 1,000 people. Chief Hyuga looked at Chiba and reported the situation. Chiba didn't respond because his eyes fell on a figure on a boat. 3rd Mizukage. At the same time, 3rd Mizukage also saw Chiba clearly on the cliff. Wearing Hokage clothes, it seems that the new 4th Hokage. Squinting his eyes slightly, Mizukage was full of fighting spirit. Mizukage-sama. Leave it to me. The great elder Ghost Lantern requested to fight and was eager to try. The hydration technique of the Ghost Lamp clan is designed to overcome fancy feces. When the whole body is in a liquid state, the opponent's feces ability is useless at all. This is the strength of Mist Shinobi. Accelerate. Get to the shore. The great elder Ghost Lamp spoke, obviously unable to wait any longer. As the order was issued, dozens of ships began to speed up and head towards the coast. In a short time, the boat has arrived at the shore. Remember, all the Ghost Lamp clan use hydration technique and open the way ahead. The Wei Yoruichi follow behind, waiting for the signal to attack. Jumping onto the shore, 3rd Mizukage gave strict orders. A large number of Ghost Lantern clansmen began to go ashore, forming liquid bodies one by one. The formation spread out, and 3rd Kazekage was ready to lead the charge. It's just a new Hokage, even if the opponent brings Konoha reinforcements, he is still fearless. On the cliff, Chiba smiled. He turned his head and scanned the various tribes behind him, then raised his left hand. Quick! Wear a mask. The patriarchs of all ethnic groups understood and hurriedly issued orders. For a while, everyone took out several masks from their trouser pockets and put them on their faces. Wear a mask? Why is that? Uzumaki Joe-zan looked dazed, completely confused. Also, some Uzumaki people don't know what this operation is. Next moment, Uzumaki Joe-zan knew, because Chiba's palm started to spray feces. Almost in the blink of an eye, a dung ball several meters in size appeared in the midair of the cliff. And, expanding rapidly, Ali. How did I forget this? Nauseated by Ali's taste, Uzumaki retreated back in a hurry. They have a tacit understanding. Hokage gave a look. These people actually know what to do. With a lot of emotion in my heart, Uzumaki Joshuen had to admire. He didn't know that if he put him beside Chiba for a while, he would also have a tacit understanding. This is all forced out. In the field, the dung ball is constantly getting bigger and has reached a diameter of 100 meters. However, there is still no sign of stopping. The coast. Third Kazekage hesitated. From the moment he saw the dung ball, he felt something was wrong. After a few breaths, he saw that the dung ball in midair had exceeded 100 meters in diameter. This made him feel more and more uneasy. Master Mizukage, do you want to rush? It's just a ball of feces. It's just a bit stronger, and it doesn't have any lethality. If you want to say brave, you have to be the great elder of Ghostlamp, who is not afraid of dung balls at all, and urges him up. Mizukage still didn't move, but frowned, as if thinking. As a result, he couldn't think of anything. Just as the great elder Ghost Lantern said, a mere giant dung ball is no threat to the Ghost Lantern clan in a hydrated state. Rush. Mizukage made up his mind and issued the order. Rumble. A large number of ghost lanterns began to charge. They stepped on the detonator trap, but their bodies quickly recovered and they would not be injured at all. And in the back, the Kaguya tribe followed closely. Now, on the cliff, Chiba's smile became brighter and brighter, and he even raised Stone Tail. Instantly, the expansion rate of the dung ball surged. 300 meters in diameter, 500 km. The supergiant dung ball completely blocked the sight of everyone on the cliff, and it had swelled to a terrifying degree. Too big. The dung ball is too big. Stop. Rewind. Seeing the unusual expansion of the dung ball, Third Mizukage hastily shouted at the charging subordinates. A strong sense of crisis rose in his heart. To avoid. Must be avoided. Mizukage was retreating, but the Elder of Ghostlamp didn't take it seriously, and even prepared to climb onto the dung ball. Right now. Freed. Chiba released the dung ball. Boom. For a moment, the terrifying sonic boom resounded through the void, making a deafeningly loud sound. The giant dung ball that broke through the speed of sound flashed past, directly smashing all the mist shinobi ninjas into gravel powder. Hydration technique failed. The speed of the dung ball was too fast, and instantly knocked them into water molecules, which could not be restored. The Wei Yoruichi clan also couldn't stop it, and all the scumbags were smashed into powder. Now, everyone on the cliff felt their brains buzzing, and their ears were temporarily deaf from the shock. When they came back to their senses, they were all dumbfounded. I see. The supergiant dung ball has rolled to the coast, and the capsule that was supposed to charge. All gone. The crowd was eerily quiet. It seems difficult to accept this result. Look. There's one more person. Mizukage. Suddenly, Sui Lei Jo Zan pointed at a fleeing figure and shouted. Don't move. Give me this. The Uchiha Patriarch shouted, jumped straight down, and chased after Mizukage. Let me do it. Chief Hyuga also jumped out from the cliff. They can't let Mizukage go. Otherwise, wouldn't this trip be in vain? The promised bonus bar for killing enemies. As a result, all the enemies were wiped out by Chiba alone. Who can resist a Mizukage worth 300 gold bars? Third Mizukage is running wildly. As long as you're in the ocean, you can use the hydration technique to get out. Seeing the coast was close in front of him, Mizukage knew that he should get away. Can't help it. He glanced behind him. At this glance, he saw a pair of red Sharingan. Suddenly, Third Mizukage staggered. Oops, Uchiha's illusion. Terrified, Third Mizukage knew that he had made a fatal mistake. Next moment, the Hyuga Patriarch came from behind and directly launched 8 trigrams 128 palms. Puff puff. Facing Mizukage's acupoints for a while, Mizukage was stunned. At this moment, Mizukage felt that he couldn't raise chakra at all, and was reduced to a sandbag. Puff. Before Mizukage fell to the ground, his head was cut off by kunai. Chief Hyuga froze, because this head was not cut by him. Tianzu. Next time remember not to punch so much. The Uchiha Patriarch was all smiles, holding his head up. On the cliff, Chiba was a little surprised to see the two chiefs cooperate to behead Mizukage. He didn't expect that with the cooperation of Hyuga and Uchiha, there would be such a perfect result. Compression. Recycle. Raising his palm, Chiba's heart skipped a beat. Suddenly, the giant dung ball on the coast collapsed layer by layer, flew back with a swish, and fell into Chiba's palm. At this time, Uzumaki Joshuen has not recovered. He was shocked several times in succession. How long has it been? The mighty Shueyan invaders are gone. In particular, the impact force of that giant dung ball is even more terrifying than the tailed beast bomb. Chief Uzumaki? Someone tapped Uzumaki on the shoulder. Shocked all over, Uzumaki regained his composure. He saw Hokage leaving with a group of ninjas. Quick! Get ready for the farewell banquet. I have to say, the Uzumaki clan is quite busy today. The farewell banquet started again before the welcome banquet was finished. At the banquet, Uzumaki Joshuen once again expressed his sincere thanks. No need to thank you, all of you can move to Konoha. After waving his hand, Chiba got straight to the point. The Uzumaki family is too far away from Konoha village. He can help once, but he may not be able to help the second time. If Kirigakure had attacked on a large scale from the beginning, the Uzumura would have been gone. Seeing the hesitation on the Uzumaki patriarch's face, Chiba offered a generous offer. Bullion. Chiba traded 500 gold bars for the decision of the Uzumaki family to raise the flag and move to Konoha village. After the banquet, children from the Uzumaki family stood in front of Chiba one by one. Gold bars are just one condition, and the other is that he can accept a member of the Uzumaki family as a disciple. With this layer of relationship, the Uzumaki family can better integrate into Konoha village. Looking at the red-haired children in front of him, Chiba asked about the names of these children. Master Hokage, my name is Uzumaki Masaki. My name is Uzumaki Nagato. My name is Uzumaki Chuan. Walking past the child with strides, Chiba gave a moment. Immediately, he took a few steps back and came to a child. What did you say your name was? My name is Uzumaki Nagato. The child was a little nervous, wondering if he had offended the noble Hokage. Now, Chiba looked thoughtful. Nagato is indeed from the Uzumaki clan, but according to the original book, he should be in the Land of Rain. If I hadn't come to help the Uzumaki clan today, the Uzumaki village would have been breached. In this way, Nagato might indeed flee to the Land of Rain. So I spoiled Madara's event? The more he thought about it, the more likely Chiba felt. Because he knows that Madara's Rinnegan must be placed on the Uzumaki clan. Only this family has a large number of chakra, which can conceive Rinnegan. Thinking of this, Chiba smiled. Since it is destroyed, it will be destroyed to the end. Nagato, from now on, you will be my number one. Touching the child's head, Chiba smiled. Also, it's better to hit the sun than choose the day. Patriarch Uzumaki, let's start moving today. Under Chiba's supervision, the Uzumaki clan started the relocation work. Chiba's request is only one: the whole family relocated. No clansman can be left behind. To this end, hundreds of Konoha shinobi became the escort of the Uzumaki clan, increasing the safety factor to the maximum. In the sky, Chiba stepped on the sand mat and monitored everything. On the ground, Konoha shinobi guards layer upon layer. This makes the Uzumaki family feel the warmth and care of home. Their family has never been treated so grandly. It's not just the Uzumaki clan who are relocating. Chiba ordered his subordinates to hold the tokens of the Uzumaki patriarch, and went to various parts of the Uzumaki country at the same time, and began to urge other villagers in the Uzumaki country to relocate. The relocation of civilians was bound to be slow, but with the tokens Uzumaki dealt with, the relocation went quite smoothly. Who wouldn't want to go to the Land of Fire? As we all know, the country of fire is the center of the entire ninja world. More importantly, after relocating to the Land of Fire, gold bars will be rewarded. After one day, the Uzumaki clan has entered the territory of the Land of Fire. At this point, Yi was ready to leave. He's going to the border of the Land of Rain to clean up Rain Shinobi and Hanzo. Master Hokage, hurry up. We don't need an escort. Uzumaki was very embarrassed. Bon voyage. Patting each other on the shoulder, Chiba summoned Hyuga and the Uchiha patriarch. You two clans select a few elites to escort the Uzumaki clan back to the village. Remember to scout carefully along the way. After solemnly warning, Chiba's expression was extremely serious. But then, after thinking about it, he still felt unsafe. You two clans, follow the Uzumaki clan back to the village. When Chiba said this, the two were stunned. Our two family escorts. Will this be two? The two were a little reluctant. However, they found that Chiba's face was downcast. Remember, on the way back to the village, you are very likely to encounter a partition. Strong enemy? It can be called a strong enemy by you. Now, the two dare not be careless. Even Chiba is said to be a strong enemy, which is enough to arouse the great attention of the two races. Danzo felt he had done his best. He tried his best and used various reasons, but he only delayed Hanzo for a day. Originally, he had a friendly meeting with the other party, but who would have imagined that Hanzo is extremely vigilant. Gradually, Hanzo realized something was wrong, and realized that Danzo's trip was most likely to hold him back. Ever since Danzo's tragedy, Danzo, come forward with me. Under the special mask, Hanzo said coldly, and picked up Danzo directly, as if he was carrying a little chicken. Danzo struggled, his limbs flailed in midair for a long time, but he couldn't get away from Hanzo's palm. It's so humiliating. This humiliation, I will definitely repay you twice in the future. The name also contains the word, Tibetan. Why is Hanzo so arrogant and unreasonable? Quickly, Hanzo sets off with the rain shinobi troops. At the end of the line, Danzo was reduced to a prisoner with his hands tied and his mouth covered. Go faster. Behind him, a rain shinobi began to urge and kicked over. Plop. Danzo fell to the ground, fell and ate shit. He is the dignified Hokage assistant. When did he experience this kind of humiliation? Was angry, unwilling, murderous, and cold. All kinds of emotions are brewing in Danzo's heart, hidden but not expressed. He has to hold on. He has to wait for Mr. Hokage, who has a big taste. As long as Hokage Chiba arrives, Danzo will usher in a turning day. Wait. You all wait. Silently got up, Danzo moved on. Along the way, he was whipped, kicked, punched and even scolded by rain shinobi. All this, Danzo endured it all. In order to hold Hanzo back, he suffered all kinds of humiliation. For Konoha. With this belief in his heart, Danzo finally saw the border. Haven't you come yet? Sweeping across the border, Danzo didn't see the figure he expected. He only saw that the few Konoha defense forces were brutally killed by rain shinobi. Tread. At this time, Hanzo came over with a sneer in his eyes. Danzo, it seems that you have delayed me for a day, but you have helped me a lot. Facing Hanzo's words, Danzo said nothing. One day has passed, and you Konoha village didn't send ninja troops to the border. Can I understand that the Konoha troops went to resist the fog ninja? Speaking of which, Hanzo smiled. Although his face was covered by a special mask, he still laughed out loud. Konoha's troops went to the Uzumaki village to resist the mist ninja, and Hanzo could send rain shinobi into the land of fire openly. Because, he has no hindrance, in the field. Danzo raised his head, his face calm. Hanzo, aren't you afraid that rain shinobi village will turn into a cesspit? Haha, at Danzo's threat, Hanzo smiled again. You don't think that your fourth Hokage is still alive? The hydration technique of the Ghost Lamp clan is designed to attack your Hokage, and it is estimated that he has been chopped into pieces by now. Puff puff. Sudden. A dense sound of falling to the ground suddenly sounded. Who? Hanzo shouted loudly, and hurriedly turned around to look. Seeing this, his complexion suddenly changed. I see. Hundreds of rain shinobi who crossed the borderline all fell to the ground, with their chests pierced. Blood flowed across the ground. What made him even more horrified was that a young man stepping on a sand mat appeared in the midair at unknown time. Hokage clothing? Fourth Hokage. After seeing the other party's clothes clearly, Fat Zhang looked dignified. Compared to Hanzo, Danzo was extremely excited. His savior has come. With longing and admiration in his eyes, Danzo looked to Chiba in midair. Danzo, well done. Chiba applauded, and grabbed the void with his left hand. Imitation ability activated, universal pull. Immediately, Danzo felt that his body was attracted by a huge gravitational force. Involuntarily, Danzo flew to Chiba's side. Originally, this technique was perfect, but when Chiba grabbed Danzo, he rubbed Ali on the opponent's clothes. Lord Hokage. You have suffered. Tianshang comforted Danzo after releasing the bondage on Danzo's body. Fortunately, he got here first, otherwise, Chiba thought Danzo might have taken a pill. Master Hokage, Hanzo is not human, he abused me. Danzo pointed to the figure on the ground and began to complain. He now has Chiba on his back and is fearless. Okay. I'll hand him over to you in the day meeting. With a nod, Chiba made a commitment. Then, he looked at Hanzo on the ground with a smile on the corner of his mouth. Ability activation, the reincarnation of grains. Target, Hanzo. Position, mouth, on the ground. Hanzo snorted coldly. What a big tone, I am Nitang. Vomit. Before Hanzo finished speaking, he felt the feces in the large intestine rushing up rapidly. Feces poured from the large intestine into the stomach, and from the stomach to the throat. Finally, you came out of his mouth. This is not the point. The point is, he still wears a special mask on his face. Ever since, his mouth was spraying dung, while his face was covered. To make matters worse, Hanzo found that he had no strength left. He couldn't even stand still, knelt on the ground and vomited wildly. This scene. Danzo stared straight at the sight. Squirting feces from your mouth? Is this a new ability Chiba unlocks? Not to mention Danzo's staring, even rain shinobi around Hanzo's eyes were round and their jaws were about to drop. A group of ants dare to invade my border. Sweeping past a group of rain shinobi, Tian Yi raised his left hand again. Freed. Instantly. Boom, boom, boom. Countless dung balls shot out from his palm, making a series of sonic booms. This is a dung ball that breaks through the speed of sound, and it is extremely powerful. What kind of ability is this? Danzo stared blankly at the ball of feces that formed a line, shooting a large number of rain shinobi into a hornet's nest. Even the vomiting Hanzo was shot. I broke his limbs and damaged his throat, and Hanzo will be handed over to you. But, be careful of the poison on his body. Looking at Danzo, Chiba spoke softly. The sandpad falls. Danzo jumped down with a crash. At this moment, Danzo's face was full of complacency, even cruelty. Then, he took out a dozen masks from his trouser pocket and put them on his face. Hanzo. Lousy is coming. After getting Hanzo done, Chiba flew back to the village stepping on the sandmat without staying too long. On the road, the sandpad is simply a magic weapon. Landing on the back mountain, he began to help the Uzumaki clan choose a site. Although Chiba went to the border of the Land of Rain, he still went back to the village one step ahead. It can be seen that the speed of the sandpad is unusual. What else do you choose? It's just right next to my farm. After walking a few steps, Chiba stopped. He thinks that the location next to the farm is very good, the scenery is pleasant, the mountains are green and the dung is beautiful, it is a good place to settle down and live. Next. Chiba started building houses. With the imitation ability activated, his 3 bedrooms and 1 living room technique became more and more sophisticated, and even the wooden houses he built were covered with patterns. After building hundreds of wooden houses, Chiba stopped. He felt something was wrong. Why is there no one from the Aburame family in the back mountain? Chiba is puzzled. He wandered around the farm and found no Aburame. Ordinarily, it is impossible for the Aburame clan to mobilize the whole clan, and there must be a few clan members left to take care of the farm, but now, there is no one. Whoosh. She instant down, he came to the Hokage building. 063, Master Hokage. Seeing Chiba appear, the ninja on duty in the building immediately rushed out with a look of surprise. Is something wrong in the village? The village is fine, but Hyuga and Uchiha encountered enemies and sent people back to ask for reinforcements. Oh? When did it happen? An hour ago. As soon as the guard finished speaking, Chiba directly summoned the sandpad and flew away. Sure enough. Let me say it. Flying fast in the air, Chiba was a little anxious. For the safety of the Uzumaki family, he deliberately suppressed all the forces outside Hyuga and Uchiha, but something happened. I hope I can make it in time. In the woods 100 miles away from the village. One by one, the Hyuga clan opened their eyes and guarded the outside of the Uzumaki clan. A large number of Uchiha people with red eyes are fighting against the densely packed white Zetsu. Ninjutsu intertwined, Kumari flying around, accompanied by detonating symbols exploding from time to time. The Hyuga clan did not move, because in the middle of the army of white creatures, there was an unmoved man in black. They have to guard against this mysterious enemy. I really didn't expect that. I thought it would be easy to capture a few Uzumaki people, but I encountered such a big resistance. The man in black opened his mouth quietly, as if extremely surprised. Whoosh. The man in black disappeared. He appeared almost teleported among the crowd of Uzumaki clan. 8 trigrams, 128 palms. As soon as he appeared, the man in black was immediately attacked by several gentle fists. This made him have to avoid and lost the opportunity to kidnap the Uzumaki tribe. It's really interesting, there are so many Hyuga tribesmen, all of them are on alert. The man in black uttered his voice again, as if Ping was praising him. Next moment, the man in black was stunned. Grunt, he felt something move in his large intestine. This feeling? Clutching his stomach, the man in black felt that something was wrong. The stool surged up, from the large intestine, and directly entered his stomach. Ever since, the man in black began to cover his stomach with his hands. Then, he grabbed his own neck. Finally, the man in black couldn't take it anymore, he knelt on the ground and jumped up. A large amount of Ali was sprayed out from his mouth, exuding a strong stench. He was vomiting feces, and his body strength was also losing a lot. Tread. At this time, Chiba jumped down from the air. Master Hokage. Everyone was overjoyed to see Chiba appear. Everyone back off. I'm going to start pretending. With a wave of his hand, Chiba gave the order. He recognized the man in black. This is the man who once attacked himself. As a result, he ate 2 grains of reincarnation and disappeared inexplicably. Before, Chiba just guessed the other party's identity, but now, he has confirmed it. Whoosh. 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 The Uchiha began to retreat, all dodging behind Chiba. At the same time, the densely packed white Zetsu launched a charge, and the number was simply terrifying. In the field, Chiba raised his hands and pushed forward. Freed. In an instant, his palms sprayed countless dung balls, breaking through the blind speed. At this moment, he turned into Gatling with infinite bullets. Sweeping towards the front, the kilometer instantly became a vacuum. Even, Chiba specially sent a shuttle to the man in black. This is a dung ball that breaks through the speed of sound, possessing unparalleled terrifying and destructive power. More importantly, he is very close to the man in black. This is equivalent to holding Gatling up close to the black-robed man. Ever since, the man in black fell to the ground. Chiba smiled. He stared at the seemingly dead body of the man in black, clasping his hands together. Imitation ability activated, wood style, wooden cage technique. Suddenly, a wooden cage with feces flowing appeared, tightly trapping the body of the man in black. Then, Chiba began to deal with the remaining white Zetsu in peace. With him there, it is impossible to enter the cause of the kilometer. In particular, when white Zetsu saw the man in black fell to the ground and was trapped, he began to retreat. One by one, the white Zetsu sank into the ground and disappeared without a trace. So far, the battle is over. After counting the personnel, Chiba found that only Uchiha had injured a few people, and no clan members died. Hyuga is intact. The entire Uzumaki family is safe and sound. Take this cage, let's go back to the village. Following Chiba's order, a group of people began to return to the village. Along the way, they encountered various ethnic groups who were coming to support them. After one day, Konoha Hushan. Chiba crouched in front of the wooden cage, looking at the resurrected man in black with a smile. Uchiha Madara. You. As soon as he opened his monocular eye, Uchiha Madara found himself unable to move. In particular, he saw Chiba's palm spraying feces and poked it at himself. Illusion. Shocked, Madara's monocular casts an illusion. The current Madara is extremely weak and can only use illusion. But, this is useless. Puff. Chiba cut off Madara's head directly. So far, Madara is dead. A week later, Kirigakure turned into a cesspit. The other ninja villages who received the news were shocked. Soon, Rock Shinobi Village announces alliance with Konoha. Cloud Shinobi Village sent envoys and signed a friendship treaty with Konoha. The newly built village of Sand Shinobi is completed, and Chiba is invited to visit. The ninja world is at peace. 3 years later. After collecting the feces of the entire ninja world, Chiba pushed his imitation ability to an extremely high level. Host. Chiba, fruit. Dung fruit, a fruit condensed from the essence of countless kinds of dung. Fruit introduction. Can control and manipulate all biological feces and excrement. Fruit awakening ability. Reincarnation of 5 grains, beauty, detoxification, control the direction of feces in all organisms. Imitation ability. 6 paths level, this level of ninjutsu for all ninjas. Infinite dung fist. Manipulate the feces to condense into fists to attack the enemy, and can condense countless dung fists according to the amount of feces. Septic tank. Infinite space, dedicated to storing and releasing feces, gather and distribute feces within a radius of 100,000 meters through ideas, and can absorb and release through any part of the body. Dung points. 1 ton of dung equals 1 dung point, 600. Usable chakra amount. Upgradable, 19,878 20,000ths. Scanning the properties panel, Chiba feels invincible. Ever since, he was ready to go to the moon. This day, Chiba stepped into the void, with tens of thousands of ninjas watching behind him. His hands are raised in imitation of the mighty planetary devastation. Suddenly, a powerful gravitational field appeared. It seems that the gravitational force of the moon was touched, and soon, the trajectory of the moon was changed. The giant moon is approaching the ninja world. At this moment, the ninjas on the ground were terrified and felt that the end was coming. The moon is running towards the ninja world at high speed, and the speed is getting faster and faster. About there, Chiba looked up and disarmed the planetary devastation. Imitation ability activation golden wheel reincarnation explosion. For a moment, a golden dung long sword appeared in his hand. Chiba then slashed at the moon. 1 cut, 2 cuts, 3 cuts. Hundreds of knives were hacked. At this moment, the moon was cut into fragments of meteorites, which fell towards the ground. At the same time, a figure was mixed among them and also came towards the ground. Otsutsuki Kaguya. Seeing this woman, Tian Yi rushed straight up. Ability activation. Grains then, Kaguya-ji ran away. Carrying Kaguya-ji and falling to the ground, Chiba released several super-large forbidden techniques to annihilate the meteorite fragments in the air. Whoosh. Seeing that the remaining meteorites were fine, Chiba decisively took Kaguya-ji to Shanren. 10 days later, a spacious wooden house appeared on the mountain behind Konoha. This was made by Chiba on purpose. Because, big enough, spacious enough. And he, every 3 days, casts the 5-grain reincarnation on Kaguya-ji. What a nourishing life. Boom.